All right, welcome back, man. It's we got a mini OG boxing talk going on this morning with the great Junior the Truth and Drew Titan. This morning, my man Junior the Truth, who is an excellent moderator, is going to be running the show for a while. I will be in and out. So y'all make sure y'all, follow the lead of Junior the Truth, who is now officially a member of. Actually, dog, I'm a member of. What's your army? Everybody got an army, nigga. We got the Trilitary. We got the what's your military? You got the fucking Junior Troopers or what?
Yeah, the Junior Mafia. That's my Patreon.
There you go. So this is the channel with the Junior Mafia. So I'm gonna be out. Y'all know what it is. Give me 15 minutes. I'll be in and out. But Junior's gonna run the show this morning. It's all you, Junior. Peace.
Hey, what's up, family? What's the damn deal, man? What's going on, Drew? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.
What's going on with your family? How you feeling?
Well, man, I'm too blessed to be stressed, man. And the devil's always trying me. The devil's always trying me. But I'm not my ancestors. First of all, I don't believe in the devil, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But I hit back. I hit back verbally and physically.
Yeah, facts, super facts. Tell the people how they can follow you, homie.
You can follow me right here on YouTube, Drew Titan, Bronx on Deck. Shout out to the entire LDBC. You can follow me on Instagram under the same name. And let's get it, baby.
Yes, indeed, man. I am indeed Junior the Truth, man. You can follow me primarily at you can go download my mobile app, man. Junior the Truth, whether you team Apple or team Android, download the Junior the Truth. I do have a YouTube channel. I don't know, but that shit might be going away. And you can catch me weekdays, 7:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Punch Junkie Morning Show, brought to you by the Punch Junkie Network. And we are streaming live via the Junior the Truth mobile app, as well as the Junior the Truth Patreon, man. So come check us out, man. I'm out here. You feel me? I'm out here. So salute to the entire family. Shout out to the LDBC, Lions Den Boxing community. Be sure to visit that website, www.ldbcsports.com. Create a profile while you're over there, man. It's absolutely 100% free. And if you have not done so, be sure to download the LDBC mobile app, man. Y'all slacking on your Mackin'. Be sure to download the LDBC mobile app, man. You slacking on your Mackin'. You feel me? So be sure to catch us, and then catch us every Sunday, man, 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 8 o'clock a.m. Central Time for OG Boxing Talk, man. OG Boxing Talk brought to you by the brother Fannon International Boxing, man. Well, hopefully OG's back while I'm advertising it. Hopefully it's back, but salute, man. Salute to the family, man. I just want to get directly into it, man, Drew. So we've had a pretty eventful week this week with regard to Devin Haney versus Mr. Gary Russell Jr. Man, what's your thoughts about the whole entire situation up to this point, bro?
Well, first and foremost, I'm happy for this. I'm ecstatic for this. I'm very happy for this. We needed this. This is a win-win. This is a win-win. And actually, we made history. We made history, and old media is on the ropes. Like in the course of about, maybe I want to say about 9 days, we proved everything that they tried to put out about the LDBC and about those two brothers in particular, and about black people in particular. We proved these motherfuckers wrong. We proved them absolutely wrong. Didn't they say that black fighters don't sell?
That's what they say.
Yep, we proved them wrong. Didn't they say fights aren't made over the internet?
They said that too.
Yeah, we proved them wrong. And now there's a buzz. And this is big news, man, because ain't nobody talking about Lopez versus Lomachenko. Ain't nobody talking about Tank versus Santa Cruz, because I believe the truth is, this thing that we got going here, it topped both of those fights. I mean, hardcore fans want to see those fights, but in actuality, they don't know why they want to see those goddamn fights. You know what I'm saying? It's this equivalent to, it's like a real fight happening, but a casual fan shouting "World Star," throwing up the video, and watching two tough dudes on the street level fight in the street. But the difference here is these are two skillful guys. These are two guys that have been avoided. Remember, the guys, Teofimo Lopez is about to fight, Lomachenko. He ran from Devin Haney. Let's just call it what it is. Ran straight from him and requested the franchise strap, and that's how he's living. All right. Do we have to go down what happened with Gary Russell? All right. Just think about what they did to Guillermo Rigondeaux. That's what they did to Gary Russell. Gary Russell now has to leave the division to get a fight. All right. Now I want you guys to understand. He this man was about to go all the way up to 147, right, to fight Bud Crawford. And when I read that, I said, what and why is he doing that? And then I looked at the numbers and I said, why is he doing that for that little amount of money? And then that's when I found out it was personal. I said, oh, shoot, that's personal. Man, that's personal. That fight didn't materialize. More on that in a minute. But then Devin Haney stepped in because he has the same issue. So if these brothers have the same issue, how do they solve that issue? They get with each other. They get with each other. Now, we made history because we seen a fight get made over the internet. All right. So when are y'all going to get convinced that the LDBC is the shit and that old media is wrong? They're always wrong. Black fighters don't sell. Did you see how many people was tuned into Fannon? When Trill Bill and Batman was on here having a conversation? Did you see how many people was on? You see how many people was on 78's channel? Did you see that?
Facts.
Now multiply those numbers. If all of those eyes bought the pay-per-view at $65 or something like that, that's money right there. And truth be told, I don't think this is just me. This is just me. I really don't think those brothers need. You know, DAZN didn't want to pick it up. Heyman didn't want to pick it up. Look, I don't think those brothers need those networks. They could do this shit themselves, man. And that's just another topic. That's just I just want to throw that out there. I don't think they need anybody because we want to see that fight. The hell with everybody else. We want to see that fight. The boxing world want to see that fight. That's all we talking about on this side of the pond, right? That's all we talking about over here. How many times we spoke about in the last 9 days? How many times we speak about Lopez versus Lomachenko? How many times we talk about Tank versus Santa Cruz? It's kind of like those outcomes are, dare I say, predetermined already. You got a handful of people that say, yo, Lopez is going to knock this guy out. Then you got the basic fans saying, nah, Loma's going to box his face in for 12 rounds. Okay. So that's a basic conversation. That's not a nail biter where you say, oh my God, I don't know who could win that. You got one group that's just saying, yo, this guy's going to win. You got another group that's saying this guy's going to win. Santa Cruz versus Tank. A majority of the people over here on this end want Tank to knock Santa Cruz head off. You know what I mean? I know that's what I want. It's like, you know, forget Santa Cruz forever. I don't like the guy. But see, that's the most I've talked about them. You know why? Because Devin Haney and Gary Russell are the main topics of discussion. All right? Because of us. We did it, family. I want you guys to think back. Fable Sanchez said black fighters don't sell. And he did not. He said that. Now, mind you, he said that while Andre Ward was still fighting. All right? He said that before Floyd Mayweather retired. He said it straight to our face. And the world want to act like they ain't hear it, number one. And the other half of the world want to act like, hey, he's right. Floyd Mayweather wasn't retired, my man. Floyd Mayweather wasn't retired. And he said that and stood on his square. Didn't apologize. No one said nothing to him. I mean, sure, you know, he was questioned about it on, you know, shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation. He was questioned. But he didn't say sorry. I listened to the show. He didn't say sorry. Oh my God. And we let him get away with that too, by the way. How many conversations you guys have had in any kind of boxing forum where you heard someone repeat what he said straight to you? Yeah, you know, but black fighters don't sell. Then you say, well, Floyd's an anomaly. What about Andre Ward? And they start running down the list of all these black fighters like we don't exist. Black fighters don't sell. He said that, and he wasn't specific. He didn't say they don't sell these days. He didn't say, "Oh, outside of Floyd, black fighters don't sell." Matter of fact, he openly admitted that a portion of the reason why he chose to work with Gennady Golovkin was because he was white and European. He knew the direction HBO was going. That was strategic. And you see how that shit worked out for him. Because when Gennady left his ass, he was reminded that his last name was Sanchez. That's what happened. And he said it was like a sun turning on you. And I just looked at him, I read that, I said, yeah. When the Mexican, when something like that happens to a Mexican, I know we got something we call the Negro wake-up call. So what do Mexicans call it? When they're reminded of who they are. Meh, who cares? I don't. But we're on fire, man. And this is a great fight. I'll be talking to Batman later on my show. We'll be talking about strategy. I don't want to talk about business or nothing like that. That's pretty much on lock. We're going to talk about strategy. What can Gary Russell do to win that fight? All right. But this is a hot topic. And the more I find out the background about it, dare I say, this is a 50-50 fight, man. Dare I say. But this is a beautiful thing, man, and I'm loving it.
Yes, indeed, man. For me, I'm gonna say this, man. I look back over the inception of this situation, and I'm gonna tell you, man, y'all scared the hell out of the boxing establishment this week. You know what I'm saying? Y'all scared the hell out of the boxing establishment this week, and through this instance between Devin Haney, the young king Devin Haney, and of course the king, Mr. Gary Russell Jr. Y'all scared the hell out of the boxing establishment this week, because what y'all did was all of the things that boxing, the suits within the sport of boxing have hung their hats on, having to take boxers behind closed doors and behind the curtains and sit them down, and there has to be some business shit sprinkled in, and things need to take place. Fights aren't made on the internet, and the fans don't know what they want, and all of that kind of stuff. And the fans will take whatever the fans will support you, and all that old bullshit that has taken place, since as long as I can remember. I know as long as I've been watching the sport of boxing, which is a flash in the pan with regard to the lineage of the sport. But all this time, they led us to believe things are a certain way, and then what you all have done is you've come out and you've dispelled those myths. You understand what I'm saying? A fight can be made on the internet. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing that really scares the hell out of these folks is that you don't need traditional promoters. You don't need traditional promoters. You don't need motherfuckers in the boardroom, like none of that. Nigga, we making a fight from the comfort of our living rooms. You understand what I'm saying? Motherfuckers from their basement studios or whatever the case may be. They're in-home studios. And that makes them extremely, extremely uncomfortable. And for me, the way I look at it is I think that there's a full onslaught to kill this fight because of the fact of how it came, because of how it originated, and because of the things that have taken place up to this point, because you had Fannon sit in and intervene and bring both parties to the table and get them to almost enter into an MOU. You understand what I'm saying? For the fight, because of, you know what I mean? Because of that. And it wasn't the traditional structure. You feel me? So that scares the hell out of them, which for me should also communicate to the fighters that time is different. You understand what I'm saying? Things are different. You feel me? You don't need a promoter. This is the shit that we have been saying forever. You don't need a promoter. I know I've been saying it on my platform you don't need a promoter. You are in the internet day and age. You understand what I'm saying? You need a team. You don't need a promoter. You need a team. You understand what I'm saying? You need legal counsel. You understand what I'm saying? You need a manager. You feel me? And then you need a PR person. That's the blueprint. You understand what I'm saying? And if you want to function and work with the promoter because of their established, they've established themselves in the sport of boxing and their relationships with different sanctioning bodies and so on and so forth, that's cool. I would encourage you, you motherfuckers to establish your own relationship with sanctioning bodies, because you see that shit now. You see Suleiman having relationships with the fighters. People are going and talking to Suleiman themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Oh yeah, and the financial advisor. Fannon came in and said in the tax guy, yeah, a financial. You do need a financial. You need a financial person who's responsible for your taxes, helping you work through your budget, figuring out, what to spend and investing, so on and so forth. So a team that might not be you might not have a one-stop shop like me. You might need a team of people for your finances, but you pull your team together, and then that's that. As far as, don't be fooled, man. Don't be fooled by this shit. As far as booking venues and all that kind of shit, nigga, if your auntie has pulled together the family reunion for the last 35 years of your family, and she books everything, she books the venue, she books the dinner, she books the DJs, she does all that shit, then surely your auntie, she books the hotel, she gets a discount rate for the blocker rooms that y'all having, so on and so forth. So surely, with the appropriate amount of guidance and the appropriate amount of direction, auntie can book the goddamn MGM Grand. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the shit's gonna come down to, motherfucker, we bringing money to the table, and they are in business. Guess what these venues are in business to do? Guess what they're in business to do? These venues are in business to make money. They are in business to get booked. You understand what I'm saying? They are in business to get booked. Period. Because getting booked equates to money. So surely this shit can take place. So I mean, the stronghold that the traditional promoter and shit has had on the sport of boxing is very, very wavering. We see that by the success that Al Heyman has had, not doing a traditional promotional shit. You understand what I'm saying? We also see that, to be honest, in the lack of success that the Mayweather promotions promoting himself. You understand what I'm saying? They promoted Floyd Mayweather Jr., who was promoting himself. So when I look at this fight and I look at this situation, it's like this. At the end of the day, I think that this was something new. This is very, very scary to the establishment. And I think that there are suits on all sides that want this shit dead. So yes, there are people in the PBC with Al Heyman who don't want this fight to transpire. There are people who are with the DAZN or Mushroom Boxing or whoever, who don't want this fight to transpire, and they're going to do what they need to do in order to sabotage this fight and to keep this fight from coming to fruition because of the way that it was spawned. You understand what I'm saying? Because of what has happened over this fight, I guarantee you that this, as far as if you total the whole LDBC content around this fight, including Fannon's channel and 78 Sports TV and Blue Blood Sports TV and Barbershop Conversations, BFTB, Drew Titan, me, everybody, you put all the brothers together and all of the content that we have, I guarantee you, over this week, we probably have had, if I threw a number out there, I'd say probably 3 to 5 million views on content just around this.
Definitely.
3 to 5 million, easy.
More than that, probably, because I've had like 1.5 million views this week, and Blue Blood probably has the same amount, probably a little more. Mm-hmm. And then you have the couple trills, and then now I think you probably are running somewhere around 6 million, 7 million views a week out of everybody, all together. And I think maybe like of unique, because unique views, I would guess, and it's not just that, dude. You got to look at the demographics of it, because I can see from behind who's watching where they are, and they're every fucking where.
Everywhere.
They're in every major urban center where there are black people. There are a considerable number of people that are actively fucking involved in this conversation. From Chicago, from Illinois, because you know how you can go in there and you can look at your demographics, right, and you can see exactly where people are looking. This shit is huge in the UK. I get shitloads of views from the UK about this. This is not I mean, it's geographic in the sense that, it's Baltimore, no, excuse me, DC and the DMV, and it's California, right? Not necessarily Vegas, because Vegas is more like, like the professional center, but where he's from and the people that he appeals to is going to be in California. So even though you have like the two fighters are East Coast, East Coast and West Coast, you also have a very heavy amount of interest in this fight from Texas. Huge interest in Texas. Huge interest in New York, right? So and huge interest, I would suspect, that's London, right? Like wherever them black folk are in London, and plus they just hardcore boxing fans, because UK fans, who unlike American fans, like they watch everybody's boxing, like they all know about American boxing. They watch American boxing whenever there's a fight. They'll stay up in the morning to watch American fighters, so they know. But yeah, man, it's a big. And I'm not going to. I want to break just a second. I want to let y'all know why, like this particular format, because ain't nobody getting on the show that ain't already here. Okay, so this is the platform today. Stay Ready Boxing is supposed to come on, but I hit him like really late last night, and I sent him the email, so he might not accept, knowing the email, but he should be here. He should be here the next time. But dude, that's why I tell y'all, man, there are channels that I think are better than me. Like there are some things that you just got for Junior the Truth that you can't get from me. Like you can't. Like I can't. Like his particular profession, the way that he broke down like the dynamics of the entrepreneurial dynamics of it, right? Man, I couldn't add. Yeah, Coach, I didn't know how to get your email, Coach. I wanted to do you next. Yeah, Coach, because you don't have Coach Shelton Harris. You have a different name, and every time I forget it. So I wasn't able to get there, but I invited Coach Shelton Harris, and I want Coach Shelton Harris to come too, because that's the thing. That's something about it too. Like I want to be like most of the stuff that we did this week that I really flipped on was about LDBC stuff. Like I really truly think the fighters, everything. There's nothing for me to add on the business side from what Junior the Truth said. And Junior the Truth is somebody you can go to his live streams at 8:00 in the morning, dude. And now his shit is multimedia, so he's got people watching from Facebook, different shit. But you can look at it on a fucking stream, dude. You can get to him quick. Talk to him. It's a very bright guy, man. Very, very bright guy, man. I learned a lot from Junior the Truth. A lot. So I just wanted to make sure, man, when we're talking about, credit for the movement and stuff like that, because it was a big thing. But for me, it wasn't really, because they can't stop that. Like if they all they're gonna do is copy, they're not trying to stop it, they're trying to copy. I saw a boxing scene article already where they copied, where they just fucking put like that bullshit they did to Money Brown. These motherfuckers went to Money Brown TV. Oh, Junior dropped off. They went to Junior. Watch this. This is how the LDBC rock. Money Brown TV did a interview with Derek James. Right? It was me. It was BFTB. It was Errol Spence Jr.'s trainer. It was Money Brown TV. And it was my man, somebody Best in Boxing. Somebody, please let me know the name of that channel, because I don't want to not give him his plug.
Everything Boxing.
Everything Boxing, man. So Everything Boxing was there. Great interview. Do you know what Boxing Scene did at 8:00 in the morning the next morning? They wrote an article about Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, and all they did is talk about how these guys talk to each other, outside, away from boxing. So they wrote an article that consisted of him explaining that Gary Russell Jr. speaks to, that Errol Spence Jr. speaks to Terence Crawford over the phone, and they go back and forth over the phone with each other. Like this is some fucking new revelation or some shit that niggas talk over the phone. Right? So no, they can't change it. So, and this is the risk for Al Heyman. This is a risk for Al Heyman, man. You gotta invest in the future, man. You have to, or you're gonna get beat. You need everybody else because you were more innovative.
Hey, for now, you want me to show my age real quick?
Can I finish the thought?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, and then for sure. Mm-hmm. So no, you gotta fix shit, man, because watch. I'm 51. I know what it is. I'm 51. I'm too old. Niggas keep asking me what I can do. Can you do this? Can you do this? No, I'm 51. I'm retired. I'm trying to be retired. I'm an old man sitting here trying to talk boxing when I'm retired. That's what I'm doing. I don't want to write contracts for people. I don't want to negotiate shit. I don't want to go to venues. I don't want to do that. I'm fucking old. I'm tired. But these niggas that are 22 and 23 are not. And if you don't accept how this goes, you're going to have a dude, not me, maybe not Junior, maybe not BFTB, but some young nigga at Howard is going to get you and going to get you ugly. Going to snatch all your shit. And you're going to be sitting there looking like Bob Arum, fiddling and moving around because you don't adapt. The playbooks are out, nigga, and it's all respect to everybody. Dog, this ain't me. I'm just the same type of guy he is. That's all it is. Al Heyman knows how to do this shit because he throws concerts. I used to throw parties. So you know how to promote, you know how to get people in, you know the money of it, you know where all the different sources of revenue is. That's not complicated stuff. And these guys really can't compete with Al Heyman because they don't really have the trust because they're not black and they're not in the neighborhoods. But a young black kid will absolutely, like my son, shit. My son can already tell you the history of UK boxing. Blacks in UK boxing. My son can tell you all about Tom Melanoff. He can tell you all about that shit. All about it. My son knows the names of all the major boxers. He knows the money on boxing. He knows how people get paid. You know what I'm saying? He knows how events run. He will know all that shit by the time he hits 18. I promise you, because I'm going to teach him. My daughter can already break down contracts. Already knows the fundamental of it. She can tell you from the time they were 3. What's a contract? Offer, acceptance, consideration. What do you have to prove? Damages. What are the theories of damages? Reliance, restitution, expectation. What's promissory estoppel? Oh, it's where the court says that where you didn't intend to have a contract, but for the sake of being fair, they're going to make it a fucking contract and make you do that shit by order of law. What's de facto mean? You know what I mean? That shit. What kind of scam is this nigga running? That type of scam. Dog, he'll be 25 years old with $1 million in the bank, snatching up fighters left, right, front, and center. And fuck around, pay respect to the right dudes in the right area, because there's that aspect too that I don't understand. But still, like, nah, dude, you gotta accept it, or you're gonna get rolled over. Just like Top Rank, just like HBO didn't accept it. HBO looked invincible. So the smart black man figured it out. That's why I put Gary Russell Jr. in there. And I said, man, explain. Now, y'all niggas think I'm some coon, some Uncle Tom ass. Now I'm not. I said, Gary, explain to them why you said your melanin is your intelligence. He explained it, not in some mystical fashion. My voice sounds like a black man because of my melanin. That's how it's melanin is the reason you can hear what I sound like over the phone. Melanin is the reason we dance, we move, we got what people call swag. He explained it like he had sense, right? This is a very bright guy, man. And he's not very far off on understanding agreements. He understands the clauses and the provisions closest to him, most important to him, he understands. Now, all of the snake language, he doesn't understand. And none of y'all understand either. Just gonna tell you, you don't understand it. And I don't have all day, nor am I have any inclination to sit up and explain to everybody every day the difference between the issue like with Canelo Alvarez and why Canelo Alvarez fight got tossed and what that had, and the difference between that issue and the arbitration clause that's in his original deal. Like, y'all not going to be able to talk about that. That shit will be like a fucking headache all day talking about that shit. But let me tell you, dog, I know for sure there are black people in the LDBC whose name I do not mention, who call me and ask me for business advice. I know these kids can do that shit. I know it. That's why I tell y'all, one of you boxers, don't buy the $18 million watch, buy 18 lawyers. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Take a couple of them kids in your hood who you are teaching to get out of school with boxing, get a couple of them and get a fucking tutoring camp. You know what I'm saying? And have these niggas practice how to take the LSAT. Have them practice how to take the SAT. Tell them how to practice taking the what are the other fucking stupid ass tests that niggas got to take to prove that they smart. Dog, I'm just telling you, I see it. It's there. These dudes know it. They just have to put it together. That's it. They just have to put it together. And when they put it together, dog, I'm telling you, friend or foe, you got to go. Friend or foe, you got to go. Everybody's time comes. And somebody's going to bite the LDBC. Trust me, there is a dude, a little black kid at Harvard Law who may be in a JD MBA program, who's from the inner city of Chicago in fucking Inglewood, where you won't breathe on this nigga if he treats people right. You will walk away from him when he walks down the street. Away from him. Because these niggas don't care. I'm telling you. Don't let a Messiah do that whole thing, that Christian Messiah thing, the hero journey. It keeps going. And you are somebody's adversary, one of these kids, and you eventually will not win unless you accept them and you bring them in and you let their power lift you till you retire. And then there they are on top of what you built instead of outside with you with missiles and bombs and shit trying to blow your shit up. Because the PBC ain't invincible, man. It's not invincible. It's respected. And people respect you. I refuse, I'm not gonna say what I refuse to do. I know who to keep out of my names. I know who to keep, whose name to keep out of my mouth. No. And I don't want anything to do with the whole shit. Is why I sit down like, this is what I do. I talk this. But I'm telling y'all, the cat's out the fucking bag, dog. The cat's out the bag. Just like Terence Crawford. Dog, you can't keep telling me that you ain't ducking, nigga. The cat's out the bag. Stop acting like that playbook. Everybody don't know it. It's real time now, man. This is real time shit. This just all what you guys are talking about over the internet. No, what you're talking about is real time. You saw it real time. And when you see things real time, you see what they really are. You see the sausage. In the fact, you see how the sausage is made. And so what you just saw was how the sausage is made. And dog, it's not about whether you get disgusted about how the sausage is made. It's whether or not you learn how to make sausage. Learn how to make the motherfucking sausage. I know how to make the sausage. I'm just old and I don't have a lot of money. And I'm a single dude walking around who anybody can get rid of. So I'm not fucking around trying to compete with no real, no shit like that. I'm sitting right here, but some niggas is gung-ho. Some niggas don't care. And some niggas are smarter than me. And I'm smart. I mean, I'm real fucking smart. And you niggas don't even understand. I'm real fucking smart. And I know some niggas that are smarter, more ruthless. Key accent on ruthless. Dude, y'all got to figure it out before somebody comes bowling over, dude, and they right there. They call MTK Global. Snatching up Jamal Herring and this dude and that dude. You better get with it, dude. Hey, that's my 2 cents on it. Y'all need to understand, man, they ain't going to give up on this money. And niggas ain't taking over and they ain't going to bend over to niggas running shit. And the PBC run shit. They got 2 networks. They're king of fucking hill for show. They profitable. They not letting anybody go. They strong. So therefore, you're a target. So, dog, it's like, don't make it a target of us and have niggas behind the scenes be like, nah, nigga, nah. Eddie just the same as PBC. What's the fucking difference? Damn, y'all don't want niggas saying that. You may not appreciate the LDBC, but y'all don't want motherfuckers saying that. Like I'm telling Terence, it's not out of love. You can say, I don't love you, all that shit. I'm telling you, though, straight to your face, dog, your shit is bushed. You can't get out of this. You fight Aegis Calvinakis next, dog. Oh, my God. If you have a rematch with Aegis Calvinakis, do you understand there is no coming back ever? You can't come back. The minute that fight is made, dude, is the minute you're gone. Because these niggas going to be like ravenous fucking animals on your name. Ravenous fucking animals. A rematch with green beans? Fuck no. I'm saying this nigga wants no smoke. So that's my thing. Now listen to these young geniuses. I had to show off a little something for you niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do a little Bill Haney impersonation. I show off on y'all little niggas something. Let y'all know I know what I'm fucking talking about. Don't you come out here, Junior the Truth, trying to show off with all your motherfucking combination knowledge on my shit. On the real though, listen to these young men talk this shit. I'll be back. I support Junior the Truth, man. I support the LDBC. I support BFTB. I support Drew Titan.
Hit the super chats, bro. Hit the super chats.
Yes, sir. And Daniel Staley. Let me give Daniel Staley, for example, let me explain something, a question that I was asked by Daniel Staley that I'll repeat off the top of my head damn near. Excuse me, Fannon. I have 8 locations of this business. I've been in business for 9 years. Should I expand or should I invest in advertisement to expand my profits? Answer, Daniel Staley. At this moment, I would always focus on profit. And expansion should come as a result of capacity. If you no longer have the capacity to serve your demand, then expand. Huge mistake in business is to expand out of fucking just, I want to be bigger. Because profit, it's what you cop, it ain't what you keep, like Lauryn Hill says. However, you know your business better than I do. So make the decision as you think best, because you have not been in business for 9 years, 8 years, 9 years, and have 8 separate locations of driving schools, because he teaches people to drive, probably truck driving schools and teaching people how to get that shit done. Since you have built your business that big, sir, I suspect that you know how to run that shit and can trust yourself. But that's just myself, what I think from the outside looking in. So like I said, I don't know how old Daniel Staley is. But if that man is from a urban neighborhood with a lot of respect, where people ride with him and love him, he can blow the fuck up in boxing. Because the way it works is, if you have a lot of money in your hands, you can then manage a fighter because you can front his salary for a while and literally build him. Like, relax, go punch somebody in the fucking face all day. I got your bill, I got your phone bill, I got all that. That's some part of that is necessary. You know what I mean? That portion of it. But when you have a father like Bill Haney, you can maneuver that more easily because he's managing it. That's the beauty of Bill Haney. He's a great manager of his son. And he's wearing promotional hat, and he's wearing negotiation hat, right? Some rough in some spots here and there, but exceptional. Definitely somebody to keep your eye on, man, because just like look at all that shit your boy did. Batman. Incredible. So if the fight ain't getting made because the PBC doesn't want it, I would advise you guys seriously not to think that your reputation in the black community is forever established. Because niggas will drop bombs. And it's not going to be me, because I know who to keep my name out their mouth. Trust me, I do. Like, it is what it is. But some of these niggas don't care straight up, because they see $3 million sitting on the middle of the table. Whoa, nigga, that was $3 million sitting in the middle of that table. I want that money. Let me get off this corner. Let me get this motherfucking money. Yo, Joe, take your ass over to fucking Howard. You ain't doing snoo. You getting off that street. You sit in that motherfucking study. Because I'm going to need your ass in about 12 motherfucking years. Matter of fact, I'm going to need about 15 of you. That's building generational wealth, because that's building generational power and generationally the ability to continue to bring in. However, like I said, I'm too old, but I know these kids are thinking about this because I'm talking to them. You'd be amazed at the strategies these guys have for you, man. But I have non-disclosures. Trust me. There are dudes that have come with me with big money. Like, hey, man, dudes just curious about it. And I'm like, man, there you go. But whatever. Y'all keep acting like black folk just gonna not, because you have black people there. Like politicians, let me tell you a story of Adrian Fenty. Love that nigga with all my heart. Youngest elected official in the history of Washington, D.C. Y'all know him if y'all from D.C. Youngest elected official in history, D.C. Like Obama, all on his tip, right? Everybody on his tip. Till some niggas in Southeast D.C. went on the motherfucking fuck Fenty campaign. Fuck Fenty, fuck Fenty, fuck Fenty. This nigga couldn't even walk around D.C. without a nigga driving up. Fuck Fenty. This nigga did not get reelected. Be careful what these young niggas can do when they organize. And you got people that ain't around you that can't see it. Because these niggas is tone deaf, man. They tone deaf. I'm telling you, you're tone deaf. And I'm trying to let you know the bell is ringing. Right now, people's about to put this shit on PBC's head. They about to put it on PBC's head. If they can't put it on the Zone's head, they're going to put it on PBC's head. No, man. And you asking for $75 pay-per-views and shit? Nigga, don't get spoiled, don't get spurled, because 300,000, you can predict 300,000, dog, but if black people pull out, nigga, that shit's gonna drop like woo, bow. If you will prove black people will prove black people won't buy. Don't want it, dog. Work some shit out with the black people, man, and make them feel like you're there for them. If you ain't for them, they're not going to feel you're for them. But go ahead, young bucks. We got the Young G show. This is the YG show. I'm out, man.
Hey, man. Hey, to the brother with the locations, man. I'm gonna say this just from my perspective. I would definitely focus on not getting any more no more locations. Focus on leveraging especially social media marketing to bring more people to your platform. I would also focus on a strong demographic, because these kids coming out of high school a lot of them not fucking with college. You know what I'm saying? So I would suggest that you target them, doing a lot of advertisement where they are, doing some, you know what I'm saying, doing some goddamn Snapchat advertisement, some definitely IG ads, some Facebook ads, and then also, as much as the shit as you can, put it up virtually. You understand what I'm saying? So like a lot of the in classroom work that you can do, put that shit up virtually, start to establish maybe a virtual academy as a virtual portion, and then only have kids come in when they need to and come to the location when they do the driving shit. And I'll probably, if you as much as your shit as you can make virtual, if you make that shit virtual, you'll probably double your profits. Like, I'm not going to guarantee it, but you probably double your profits if you can do online as much as possible as with regard to the physical or the actual written portion, or the in classroom work part, and then just only have people come to your locations out of convenience, and whatever location is most convenient to them to actually come do the driving portion, then you'll probably double your profits. So that's what I would suggest. But by all means, like Big Bruh said, man, you definitely want to always focus on profits. My brother BFTB Boxing in the building. What's up, family?
What's popping, man?
Man, it's all good. I don't know if you got a chance to talk yet. You talked yet?
No, I was just listening to the God.
Yes, indeed, man. Tell the people how they can follow you, bro.
Wherever you want to see a nigga get fucked up. I'm just saying, man.
Hey, man. So give me your give me your thoughts on, man. Just this.
It's okay. We like a half hour into the show. It's okay.
Yeah, we good money. Give me your thoughts on this situation, man, with regard to the man, Devin Haney versus Gary Russell Jr. Where we at to this point, bro?
I mean, the shit that you've been saying for a minute. You know what I mean? I've known it. You know what I mean? I've known it. It's been like something that I've been thinking for a minute. However, I just didn't say nothing because I like to let shit play out. You know what I mean? I like to let shit play out, and then when it plays out, I come back and be like, and I don't say, see, I told you. No, I'm coming in and telling you some shit that that I'm giving it to you from a different angle. I'll give it to you from a different spin. You know what I'm saying? I'll show a motherfucker, like these weird gluttonous bastard motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, Oscar de la Ho and you know what I'm saying, fish eyes and fishnets and all these other weird motherfuckers I can present to you after it happens, because it's always a lot easier to present to someone something when you have some meat on the bone. You know what I mean? You could tell a motherfucker water ain't wet or water is wet, whatever you want to tell them. But if they ain't never touched the water, then motherfucker there'll always be some dude out there or some woman out there is just like, water is not wet. I remember back in my time and water was never wet. And you just be like, all right, cool. So, you know, you just let them motherfuckers think and say what they want to say, you know, and then when they get thrown in the pool and shit and their wig get flown all off, then it's like, oh, this water is so wet. And we're like, yeah, well, you know, this is the reason why that water is wet. And that's what I like to do. So when the shit came down, I'm looking at Trail Bill and I'm looking at Mr. Gary Russell, and they making this fight without no promotion. I mean, no, there ain't none of the usual suspects, if that's what you want to call them. There is no Slob Aram, you know, there is no Snake Hearn. There is none of that. It's these two brothers got together on the internet, on the strength of the internet, on the strength of the LDBC. You know what I mean? They got together and got it popping. They got together and got it popping on the strength of LDBC. And we promoted it better than Terence Crawford has been promoted his entire career to date. And that is no hate. That is no shade. That is a fact. He is still not getting promoted. At this moment, he's not getting promoted. The promotion that he gets is because we just gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? We literally just mentioned his name. If we don't mention Terence Bud Crawford's name, his name is not mentioned at all. If we don't start talking about him, no one talks about him, because don't nobody care. You know, we could say whatever we want to say, but don't no one care. Gary Russell, by going after Bud, gave Bud Crawford more promotion than he's had, period, because he made it something that the media, old media, wanted to address, because old media has this thing. They have this affinity, this epiphany shit. They have something with Terence Bud Crawford. I don't know what it is. It's the weirdest shit in the world, but they have something with him where they must put this man out there as the greatest thing since apple pie, when you're basing your shit off of Indongo and get the fuck out, whatever. Listen, man, this shit with Lord Jesus, you know what I'm saying, this Lord Black Jesus, Devin Haney, and motherfucking Mr. Gary Russell is historic. It's historic. It shows to the world. It shows to everybody. It proves to everybody. Now, and again, I hear what the GOAT said, and I agree, bro. I agree, 1000%. If you don't get on this train is moving. It's moving. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't stop social media. The internet is undefeated. Haven't y'all heard that term? Haven't y'all heard that? The internet is undefeated. The internet is like Father Time. You can't beat it, bro. You cannot beat it. It's undefeated. Now you can get on this train and ride with it. You can hitch your name to the train, because the train's moving. The train is moving and ain't nobody claiming it. So you can hitch your name to the train and act like you done fucking made some shit up. Oh, I don't know. Nobody was thinking this but me. You know, my genius was thinking, you know, that the internet is undefeated. Now you can hitch your name to that. You can definitely do that. And this fight, it was done like that out of damn near mistake. It was just some brothers talking, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was just some brothers getting together, and then it was like poof, the motherfucking desire for this shit kicked in something heavy. Like, you look at my analytics or anybody else's analytics, and I got motherfuckers in Finland. They don't even know Devin Haney or Gary Russell. Motherfuckers in Finland is watching this shit heavy. Motherfuckers over in the UK heavy, Australia heavy. It's like when you look at it for what it is, and you realize that this fight, and I was saying this, man. I was saying this a couple of days ago. Like, Devin Haney Promotions trying to stand up. Devin Haney Promotions trying to lock in Gary Russell. To me, it was a smart move. I don't see it happening, but it was still a smart push. But even by the push itself, at this point, you should be like, damn, that we had people actually fucking going to bet for Devin Haney to sign for Gary Russell to sign with Devin Haney. This is the longest reigning champion in the sport of boxing. And they was pressing for him to sign with Devin Haney. And I love Devin Haney. But Devin Haney, who has literally fought no one. So you want the longest reigning champion in the sport of boxing to sign with a fighter who has fought no one. No one. And not because of his own choice. Because motherfuckers don't want no smoke with him, ducking the shit out of him. But let that sink in. That should tell you all you need to know of how dope and how undefeated the internet is. And you are actually serious. You're actually saying it's good business for the longest reigning champion in the sport of boxing to sign with a fighter who's done nothing. Literally nothing. The internet is undefeated, God. It's undefeated. That press, that thought process, the mindset of how Gary Russell, the longest reigning champion in the sport of boxing, should sign to a fighter who's done nothing. That press, motherfuckers is saying that's a good idea, came off the internet. That's where that came from. You could force a nigga to do some shit because of the internet. Why? Because the fans run this shit. And if you get into the mind of the fans and tell the fans or press for the fans or show the fans that that's all old media does. That's all Bob Arum does. That's all Eddie Hearn does. That's all Oscar De La Fishnets does is tell motherfuckers, tell people, this is the fight. Oh, this is the big fight. This is the one. Oh, that's it right there. Canelo versus Bum Lofkin it's the biggest fight in the world. This is the biggest fight. Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather is the biggest fight in the world. Bro, we still don't think Manny Pacquiao can beat Floyd Mayweather. And we don't think he can beat him now. But whatever. Some motherfuckers told you he could, gave you a little buzz, made a little hated on somebody, put some racism, sprinkled, salt bait a little racism to it. You know what I mean? Just to spin that shit right and threw it in your face. And you bought it up, you ate it, yum, yum. Bro, we don't need people to do that. It's like, bro, if you like Floyd Mayweather, he showed, I don't fuck with him like that, but he's still a great ass fighter. Arguably one of the best. But just like you put the blueprint out there, it's like, okay, is anybody going to use it? It's there. Is anybody going to use this motherfucker? Everybody wants to go straight to fucking Money Mayweather. Nobody wants to be Pretty Boy. It's there, man. And in this instance right here with the internet, like you said, Junior, I truly believe the reason why the zone did not put no bread to this fight is because it didn't tie his name to Eddie Hearn. It was Eddie Hearn controlling the bag who said, well, we can get a better fight. And then threw out Gamboa. The nigga that just lost. You just lost. You can get a better, we're in the runnings. Gary Russell's in the, fuck you mean Gary Russell's in the runnings? No, Gary Russell is the fight. Gary Russell ain't in the runnings. So you mean to tell me you're going to put, we have Gamboa over here who just got knocked out, who everybody shitted on Tank Davis, savagely shitted on him for fighting Gary Russell. Gary Russell was washed up. He's old news. Not Gary. Gamboa was washed up. Gamboa is old news. He's this and that. He's been knocked out by Bud Crawford before. Tank Davis is going to run through this man. He's going to demolish him. Nobody wants to see this fight. But then you take this same person a fight later and say, well, this is the main character for Devin Haney. Bro, you just pushed. The internet is undefeated. You can't say that anymore. You could do that back in the old days of Don King and shit like that. You can shit on the motherfucker's name because there was no social media. You can shit on his name and then still have him come back out in a fight or two later and say, oh, this is such a big fight with this guy. It's such a huge fight with this guy against somebody where he's outmatched and going to get destroyed. You can do that back then. You can't do that now, especially with a nigga like me, because I'm breaking everything down, bro. I ain't got no horse in this race. All I see is horses running, and I'm looking at every horse the exact same. I see 5-6 horses running. Nah, bro, that horse right there, that motherfucker got COVID. That motherfucking coughing, bro. That motherfucker ain't looking right. Nah, homie, you ain't gonna tell me this motherfucker running with COVID is gonna beat this full thoroughbred right here, all shiny and shit. That motherfucking hair, tail falling off. Motherfucker got 3 strands of hair on his tail and shit. Ball is it, motherfucker on his. Nah, homie, you ain't trying to tell me that's a fucking good fight. Gamboa should not be in the runnings at all. We say we want the best to fight the best. That's what we say. That is what my name is. Social media, we look at each other, Junior. You in Ohio repping heavy. I'm out here in Texas. We looking at each other dead in the face. We know what thoroughbreds look like. I know for damn sure when we link up, we fighting. I already know that. We're gonna fight somebody, bro. I already know that. It's gonna happen. But I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying, bro. Like, you can't tell me I'm looking at Gamboa. You can no longer tell me the eye test doesn't. No, homie. The fight is Gary Russell, Devin Haney. That is the fight. Gamboa, bro, you have seen better days, my nigga. And your last fight, you got annihilated by Tank Davis. You didn't have 5-6 fights in between some pick up the pieces. You ain't had no pick up the pieces fights. You ain't had none of that shit. You got obliterated. They gave the excuse that your Achilles was fucked up. And now all of a sudden you're supposed to be in the runnings for Black Jesus. All of a sudden now, get out of my face, bro. Who you trying to bamboozle? Who you trying to fool? Yeah, man, if you don't get this nigga smooth the fuck out of my face, you put this nigga in there with some green beans or Benavidez or one of these motherfuckers. Do something like that. Put him in there with one of them. The fight is Devin Haney, Gary Russell. And because old snake ass Masa Herm wasn't the one in front of the fucking TV all up in everybody's videos dancing and shit, wearing shiny suits, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't the one doing it. Now all of a sudden, well, you know, we have 2 fighters actually in the running. You know, Gary Russell's in the running. The fuck you mean the longest champion in boxing history? I mean, in boxing today right now is in the runnings. What do you mean? Nigga, this ain't cool runnings. He is the fight. He is the fight. He's not in the runnings. He is that fight. Devin Haney beats Mr. Gary Russell. His name means something more. Devin Haney beats Gamboa. His name means he beat the guy that Tank beat. That's what his name means. That's a fact. That's not a debate. That's not a debate. You give this man the fight that he wants. You give this man the fight that he deserves. This is a fight that Devin wants. This is a fight that Gary deserves. Period, bro. End of discussion. And it is a big fight and a huge fight. A huge fight. There is nothing else going on right now. That fight right now is one of the biggest fights in all of boxing this year and maybe even next. It's going if Black Jesus beats Gary Russell and beats him convincingly, then that's something that Lomachenko didn't do. He didn't do that, bro. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Lomachenko didn't just go in there and just wash Gary Russell and just annihilate him. No, he didn't. He did beat him. He did beat him. And he also got floored. Cleanly. And no one gave him the credit for it. They still don't give him the credit for it. And floored him cleanly. Floored him better than Linares did. Cleanly. A left hook that floored this man. Put him on his face. He caught himself from his athleticism. Clean. And Jack Reese, the same motherfucker that been fucking shit up, waved it off. Oh, no knockdown. What you mean? What you mean no knockdown? He didn't push him. That was a clean hook. The man fell down. Clean hook. Gary Russell stepped back. Hit him. Boom. Step back. He dropped. And then Lomachenko jumped up shaking his head. And Gary Reese is like, no. The fuck you mean? And then because the fix was in. And then you know how after a motherfucker gets dropped, right? When the round is over, because it was like 20 or 30 seconds left of that round. When the round is over, they replay it. Was that really a knockdown? They didn't do none of that. None of it. I watched that shit again and again and again. After the fight, after that round, it was talking about how quick Lomachenko was and his punches were better. But get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. And for anybody saying huge for Hugh, huge for boxing, what fight are we talking about? Oh, this isn't a big fight. It's not a big fight. I see the comments. It's not a big fight. It's saying, well, what fight's bigger? What fight's bigger? Name the fight that can happen right now that's bigger. Ain't no Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford happen because Errol's fighting is mandatory. Bud's fighting a turkey dinner. So you tell me what fight can be made that's bigger than this right now. Tell me. You can't. That is the biggest fight that can be made right now. Nobody's talking about no fucking Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez because we are talking about a bigger fight, which is Devin Haney, Gary Russell. Because if Lomachenko Teo was bigger, that's what we would be talking about. Oops. Fuck out of here, bro. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. And Teo's a champion. Teo's a champion, and we're still talking about Devin Haney versus Gary Russell. We're still talking about that. They're fighting next month. And we're still talking about Devin Haney versus Gary Russell. That's what we're talking about. Whether you love it or hate it, that is the conversation. That's it. Go into the internet, type boxing. Devin Haney, Gary Russell's coming up. Brrr. Who you think these motherfuckers is coming to our pages, stealing our content, bro? Boxing 24, World Boxing News, coming to our pages and stealing our content and talking about this. They ain't talking about no motherfucking Teofimo and Lomachenko. They're coming to our pages to steal our content and talking about this. But then you're going to come out here and tell me a fight is bigger. Well, tell them that. They're stealing our shit, making fucking articles about our shit. And they're going to make an article about this live. Tell them that the fight is bigger. Because they're taking our shit to talk about what we're talking about. It clearly ain't. Because Lomachenko and Teofimo are fighting next month, and they can be talking about that, and they're not. But then you niggas come in here capping, oh, this fight ain't really, it's not bigger. It ain't huge. It ain't this. But every article that these niggas writing, all the shit they're stealing is about this fight. Stop it. Y'all motherfuckers is lying to yourself. You're not lying to me. You're lying to yourself.
Yes, indeed. This is it. Like this fight really truly is it. You understand what I'm saying? And I understand we got to move the pendulum on and we want to talk about other stuff. I don't. You feel me? Because there ain't nothing else to talk about, bro. Like this is it. This is it. I did a video, man. The funny thing, I did a video I recorded yesterday when I was moving around. I haven't uploaded yet though, but I got questions. So maybe I don't want to do this. I got a problem though. I got a problem with the suits. I'm bringing it right back to the suits. I got a problem with this fight not materializing. You understand what I'm saying? I have a problem with it for whatever reason. And I feel that if the DAZN doesn't pick up this fight and they don't have any interest in this fight, that's not surprising because they stupid as fuck. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They have absolutely no clue. And that's why their numbers reflect the way that they reflect. And that's why the business and their network is in the condition that it is in these United States. So that shit is what it is. PBC, I got a problem. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I got a problem. And my problem is I'm gonna go into my issue. And I'm gonna come to you, my brother Drew. I got an issue and I'm gonna pose this. Why the fuck is Mr. Gary Russell Jr. not a household name in the sport of boxing? Now, don't get me wrong. For me, he's a household name. For me, he's one of them ones. He's one of the greats. All the ingredients are there. He's an Olympian. He is a champion. He's the longest reigning champion in the sport of boxing currently. He is one of the most avoided fighters in the sport of boxing. You understand what I'm saying? He is from Washington, D.C., a fighting ass town. He comes from a lineage of great fighters. You look at the storyline with him and his brothers and his father and everybody's in the sport of boxing. What the fuck are we talking? Why the fuck is Gary Russell Jr. not a household name in the sport of boxing? Motherfuckers, I listen to motherfuckers talk all this shit about pound for pound shit all day, every day. Every time you come on this motherfucker and you listen to boxing talk, you hear motherfuckers, you will hear somebody say pound for pound at least once. You understand what I'm saying? You will see motherfuckers type pound for pound in the chat room at least 20 times. He is one of the only motherfuckers that I'm seeing actually out here walking that pound for pound shit. He's walking the shit. He wants to go to 147 for a fight. You understand? And fight the person who's viewed as the pound for pound champ. That's not gonna happen. So he's gonna move up 2 weight divisions to 135 to face a current champion. That's pound for pound shit. Why in the fuck is he not one of the big? Why is he not a household name in the sport of boxing? We know who the fuck Leo Santa Cruz is. We know who the fuck Carl Frampton. We know who the fuck all these motherfuckers is. And this motherfucker is over here just chilling. And the thing that kills me is he a real one. So Drew, why is it that he's not a household name in the sport of boxing, bro?
Can I answer your question with a question?
Go ahead.
Why the fuck is Larry Merchant sitting on the PBC broadcast? All right. The answer is this: somebody at the PBC is asleep at the fucking wheel. I've been saying that. And it was very clear when I saw Larry Merchant sitting at on a PBC broadcast and Sean Porter smiling, and he said what he said with no backlash from anyone but us. Okay, and we were called racist for addressing his racist comments, his anti-American comments at that, by the way, anti-American. So now, how does that relate to Gary Russell? I'll explain. Motherfuckers is asleep at the wheel, man. There's no way Gary's accomplishments gets overshadowed by a loss against Vasyl Lomachenko. Do you understand what I just said? Not when the guy he lost to in his second pro fight lost to a journeyman and his shit gets justified by his amateur career. Don't no one care about that shit. Don't no one care about that shit. Sam Bowie was a #1 draft pick and he was a man in college. I might be going back too far for y'all young niggas. Do you understand what I'm talking about here? You understand? I don't give a fuck about your amateur career. I like how they throw around amateur careers. They do it. Who the fuck did? They did that for Vasyl Lomachenko. They did that for Gennady Golovkin. They talk about their 1,000,001 wins at amateurs. Who the fuck cares? I don't. And truth be told, you really want to get technical? I don't give a fuck about no Olympic medals. Boxing is a what have you done for me lately sport, is it not? I don't give a fuck about no Olympic pedigree. I don't give a fuck about your amateur career. Your first pro fight, that's what I care about. That's all I care about. Your first pro fight, how you gonna do? Why is Gary Russell Jr. being held to this standard? Because of a loss to Vasyl Lomachenko. By the way, a loss that he wants back. All right, a loss that he wants back. And what does Vasyl do? Grab a franchise belt or a franchise a label, and he heads for the fucking hills. Someone is asleep at the wheel at the PBC. There's no rhyme or reason why Gary isn't a bigger name than he is right now. All right. And we help do that. Not because he's black, but it's because it's the right thing to do. And we're not gonna, no, bullshit. Not gonna lie on this man. Because that's what's happening. And I don't understand how motherfuckers are allowing or just not getting hit to that or not paying attention. We're living in the now. What they did to Guillermo Rigondeaux just happened. It's fresh in my mind. We talk about the Black Murderers Row and how fighters get frozen out. We saw what Hearn tried to do to Deontay Wilder. All of it was a media stunt. They would erect these talking points that don't make any sense. He can't get a fight with AJ because he didn't have a big enough profile. Who the fuck was Carlos Takam? Who the fuck was that? Do you understand? I didn't know who the fuck he was until he was mentioned. Was anybody checking for Carlos Takam? Do you understand? I didn't know who the fuck Dillian White was until he fought AJ. They had to tell me that they had a feud dating back to the amateurs, and Dillian whooped his ass in the amateurs. I said, oh, okay, this is a good UK rivalry for them, but I didn't know who the fuck Dillian White was. Get the fuck out of here. This is media ploy. Bob Arum said, boxing fans are like rocks. You can kick them in any direction. Congratulations, some of you motherfuckers. He's been kicking y'all in all kinds of directions. Y'all cats really thought Manny Pacquiao could beat Floyd Mayweather. So much to the fact where y'all attacked us racially. So much to the fact where there was a lot of coons that took Manny's side because they just didn't like Floyd because he threw money at the screen. Fuck out of here with all of that. We're talking about boxing. And if we're talking about boxing, why is Gary Russell so disrespected? Why is he disrespected? Why is he disrespected? You want to say he ain't do nothing? I'll challenge that all day, every day. We can go down from fight 1 till now. And the only thing you'll be able to say negative about that man is, oh, well, he lost to Vasily Lomachenko. And my response is, well, he lost to Salido and didn't run it back. And out of fear, his fans didn't hold his feet to the flame and say, yo, look, just go get that win back. You was beating him in the last part of the fight anyway, right? Go get that win back. All right? Get the fuck out of here. Someone is asleep at the wheel at the PBC. Gary Russell should be a household name. We should. Do you understand that they left it up to us to promote this man? And again, it's not because it's not. I'll say this: it's not only because he's black. That goes without question. But it's also because it's the right thing to do. And now the latest shit now is they putting out cases on the man. I'm still seeing people talking about, yo, he's ducking, huh? Do y'all not listen to Bill and Batman for the past week been on here, and it was very, very revealing. We saw a side of boxing that a lot of us have never seen. We literally, you know the arguments when they say, oh, well, how do you know? You wasn't there. You wasn't there during negotiations. How do you know what happened? Well, guess fucking what? About 3 million people were there to witness a negotiation. All of us. And with everything spoken in plain English, for those that speak English, for those that comprehend English, we can honestly say that we know 98% of everything that's going on. Because whether they were breaking each other's balls back and forth and snapping on each other, whatever, we heard what was going on. And one thing I will say is neither fighter is ducking. That's impossible. The zone said they didn't want to pick it up. The PBC didn't want to pick it up. I say the brothers need to get together and work it out, but that's another topic. But Gary Russell should be a bigger name than the man threatened to go up and smack the shit out of Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford said no. Devin Haney said his name. Now they working it out. We did this. The fact that Gary Russell's not a household name on this soil is a fucking crime. And in comparison to who is a household name. Nobody gives a fuck about Leo Santa Cruz. I never did. Motherfucker got Tourette syndrome in his fucking hand. Fuck is that about? Fuck out of here. Motherfuckers ain't even talking about, they ain't talking about Teofimo Lopez. Fuck out of here. What are we talking about here? I don't understand. This is a fucking crime. The PBC, they need to fucking wake up, man. They need to wake up. They're not perfect. They're not perfect. I don't care who's on that roster. There's a lot of fucking up going on over there. And it's not quiet no more. And they're about to find out where the power rests. We wasn't just saying that, it wasn't just a cute little slogan to say that we control the narrative. And when Black says, yo, we the mob, it wasn't just a cute slogan. No, we really were behind the scenes dictating shit, swaying the pendulum. We was doing that the whole time. And now the cat's out the bag. Go look at what they're writing on Boxing Scene. Go look at what they're writing on, what's that shit, Boxing 24. They're listening right now. They're listening to us right now. And go read their articles. I swear to God, if you listen to all of our live streams, you'll see a quote. You'll hear a quote from Bill Haney. You'll hear a quote from, well, they ain't talking to them. The person that wrote the article, scroll down and look at the person who wrote the article. And think to yourself, did this guy get an exclusive from Bill Haney? Did this guy get an exclusive from Batman? No. They ain't been talking to these motherfuckers. They've been talking to all of us. And they mad. Did those clowns, Radio Raheem and the bitch talking about she's gonna have to flash her boobs to get super chats, whatever the hell it is? They sat up and they had a whole panel at the height of this pandemic, and they sat up and had a whole fucking panel about how they went and they got degrees and this is their full-time life. And that was a fucking whining pity party about how they're not getting a paycheck from a major network now because of COVID. And now they got to sit at home and watch all of us get all the interviews. Guess what, boo-boo? We got full-time jobs too. We do this in our spare time, and now we done snatch food off your plate unknowingly. We didn't get involved in this shit to steal food out your mouth. Sorry that happened. But how about this? We're the fans. You're absolutely right. While you went to school to do this shit, we just wobbled into the door and sat down and just started doing it for fun. For fun. All right? This ain't the fucking 90s. This ain't the 80s or 70s or 60s. Listen, we have direct contact with the fucking with the athletes. Do you know if you say a fighter name enough times on Instagram, eventually he's gonna respond to you? Eventually. Dillian White blocked BFTB. You understand? This is the power of the internet. I was gonna say earlier, let me show my age real quick. Let me show my age. I remember being in the backseat of my father's Cadillac. My parents are driving, right? Well, my father's driving, and he says, you know what, Marilyn? That ain't gonna work. And she says, well, you know what? Look, you got to change this because things are changing. You got to adjust with the times. You got to adjust with the times. We're listening to music on this right here. So you're going to have to change what you got in this car. You know what she was talking about? She was talking about my father changing from using 8-track tapes to cassette tapes. That's how old the nigga is. From 8-track tapes to cassette tapes. And he insisted, Marilyn, this ain't gonna change. You see this big 8-track tape is sturdy. If I drop it on the floor, boom, it's not gonna break. That little cassette tape, you drop it on the floor enough times, it's gonna break. Well, do we have 8-track tapes in any vehicles now? No. Then we moved from cassette tapes to what? CDs. From CDs to what? MP3s. And on and on. And y'all don't remember Walkmans. Y'all don't remember CD mans. You had the CD, you had good quality. Because what was the problem with Walkmans, Junior? The problem with Walkmans was when the battery started dying, it sounded like your music was chopped and screwed. Remember chopped and screwed? That's right. So when the CDs came out and the battery died, the shit would just stop. But your music on a low battery would never slow down. But then when you bump into something, your CD will skip. You scratch your CD, your favorite song will be skipped all through it. MP3s killed that. iPods and all these other technology. And this is what I'm saying right now. We have a direct link. We could do 78 does a whole live stream, and all you see is a brother's face, and that's fairly recent. Before, for years, we didn't know how 78 even fucking looked. But I know the motherfucker had a few thousand subs. You understand? Fannon, same shit. We don't have to show our face. We don't have to do shit. We could be sitting up from our couch with a beer in our hand, just chilling, talking to a fighter. Because a lot of the fighters, they understand change. And that was my point of the 8-track story. This is called change. You don't have to be in a suit and tie and running behind these motherfuckers with a mic, clean shaven, and speaking all proper. No, a lot of these fighters, and bust this, when you talking to these fighters, they probably in their house overweight, scratching their ass. They're seeing it like, yo, I ain't got to get up and get in a tie and look all good and proper. No, I'm just going to shoot the shit with this motherfucker. And hey, I got 200,000 people watching right now. Oh, this is easy. I ain't got to go and do a radio interview. I can just do it from the fucking comfort of my own home. This is technology, man. And those bozos, Radio Raheem and the rest of these motherfuckers, they didn't understand that. Your paycheck stopped from ESPN. Motherfucker, we ain't paying you. Get on your grind. Fuck you hating on us for? They talk to us, athletes talk to us because it's comfortable. It's like talking to your person, talking to your people on the corner of the street, talking to them at the barbershop, which is what they do. You understand? So they went from clowning us to saying, oh, it's just the YouTube guys and they ain't no threat. Now they want to be us. How many motherfuckers? this fat chitlin, Jason Shitcock, this motherfucker, he got fired, right, from Fox, and we all celebrated. And I told everyone, pump your brakes. He's coming to YouTube. He knows what he's doing. Don't celebrate. And I'll be goddamn. He's on YouTube somewhere. It came up on my timeline, and I said, "What the fuck?" I said, "I knew it," and I deleted it. But this is the new wave now, and you see, they're gonna try and duplicate us. They're gonna try it, and it's not gonna work. You know why? We are organic. They already know their faces. The fighters, right? They're gonna try and reach out to these guys. A lot of them, they might bite on that, but a lot of them, they're not. They're not, because they're not fans. They'd rather talk to the fans. We're the fans. And and Batman will tell you, the LDBC pushed this. And now, like Fannon said, the cat's out the bag, man. This is where the power is. So Gary Russell, by the time we're done with this shit, he is going to be a household name. And I want these brothers to make all the money they can. Both of them, him and Devin.
Hey, now,
so that's where I'm at with this.
Let me just break in for 1 second. Now I want you guys to see, man, that this, like, the way that this format came was kind of accidental, but you should understand, man. This is why I'm saying, like, last week I went on that big thing, man, about the LDBC, dude. I'm with the LDBC, man, and it's a boxing community, and really and truly, there are people that don't understand how the wealth of information and the wealth of boxing knowledge, and on all different levels, from all different aspects of the sport. And so supporting channels like Drew Titan, supporting channels like BFTB, supporting channels like the Punch Junkie is very, very important if you're core to the LDBC. Right now, if there are people out there who are not really, who just love to talk boxing, that's cool. And man, I definitely know there's a lot of people that are like that on my channel, because like I said, I didn't really even tell anybody that I was even associated with the LDBC till I got to 13,000 subs. You know, because I wanted to make sure that it was like, because I was always looking at you guys. Well, it's us now, but you guys from like just kind of peeping it out. I was like, no, this is the best shit in boxing. Just straight up. This is the best. It's been the best shit in boxing for the last 3 years, at least 3 years, 2 years heavy. 2 years heavy of easily the best in boxing. Nobody's even close to the LDBC, because the LDBC is a community and is boxing fans. It's not media. And because you're not media, you have more credibility. It's fans have more credibility than the media, because the media is a go-between the fighter and the fan. Right? So in boxing, just the structure of boxing, you have boxers, and I'm talking for a second, I'm gonna go through the business of boxing and try to give you guys just a little bit of what I mean. The business of boxing is primarily this. You have fans who want to pay to see a boxing match, and you have fighters that want to get paid. You have big time dudes that want to gamble, right? So you have the gambler, but he's really not a fan, but he's trying to gamble. He's trying to gamble on the money, so on the fight. So they play a lot of games as it relates to gambling, I'm sure. Don't understand that aspect, not really into it, but it's important to say that during the establishment of boxing, gambling was the number one reason boxing took off in the UK. Because they were like, look, these motherfuckers all killing each other out of pride and all that shit, going off on each other, shooting each other, stabbing each other, doing all that kind of stuff. Nah, let's do it different. Let's just punch each other in the face and bet people who's going to win. You'll be my champion. I'll get my champion. You get your champion. Right? And we'll just fuck around and bet on who is going to win. Right? And so it was a way where, you know, and it was a criminal endeavor from the beginning. It was always a criminal endeavor, because that's why they would sign agreements, or they would go through agreements, but they would have it. The location would be, it wouldn't be, oh, it's going to be at this arena in London. It would be, it's going to be at least 60 miles away from London, right? So that just tells you they didn't talk about where it was. They talked about hiding that shit. And then they would be like, we'll let you know when it gets made and within the 24 hours. So whoever gets there, right? So everybody knew quickly and everybody would go and gather. That was the original structure of boxing, and it's not changed. The only issue is how do you tell, because not just the gambling. So there's the gambling aspect of it, where it's like that's more the promoter aspect. The promoter was originally the gambler. He was originally the guy that was putting up the money for the fight. So you think of Bob Arum as a gambler, and he's going to find his champions, and he's going to bet them against other champions. But what he's doing is fighting one champion against the other champion. So he's betting himself, but he's still a gambler. But the overall gamble is going to be how much profit can he make out of a fighter instead of how many great fights can you make. So that's why they're resistant to make the fights that you want to make, because they're trying to take consideration all of that gambling is going on. How can they make sure their guy wins? How can they get a predictable and repeatable number of fights for guys? Dude. One of the reasons Gary Russell Jr. is not getting pushed over Leo Santa Cruz because Leo Santa Cruz is perceived as having a bigger audience. Small man, Mexican small man outsells Mexican southpaw slick black man. And that seems like what the PBC's decision is. And that is fundamental to the sport of boxing and the gamble that's going on within their own stable. A stable. And there's a ring outside the stable. You take your horses outside of the stable and you put them in the ring and you race your horses. Or you take your black man or your slave out of their shack, you put them in the ring, and they fight, and you gamble, just like horses. It's no different than horse races. So we talking about people's horses. We're talking to the horses. We're talking to the horses. We are telling you, horses, we don't need your stable. Just bring your horse, and you own your horse because you sit on top of your horse like a mentor. You are a man on a horse. Isn't that what a mentor is? It's like the elevation. It's like that's symbolically, that's what a centaur is. You are a horse, but the man part is the elevation of yourself. You need to become more like a centaur than a horse. You need to walk in the ring yourself and tell them, I know where I'm going. I am not your beast of burden. This is life, man. It's life. So let's not get it twisted. People make decisions, business decisions based on their preconceived notions. And there's interpersonal politics that go on. However, fuck all that middleman shit because we're the fans. We are the ones that are paying to go into the ring. And I don't care who brings the fucking horse. Why do I care that it's your horse? Right? I just want to see it run. And I think this horse is faster than this horse. This little motherfucker could outrun the middle-sized young one. This is an old, mature horse. He knows the tricks of the trade. This young boy, everybody's amped up about potential, but it's still potential versus reality. In that fight, it's still potential versus reality. And that gamble is off. Also, resources are scarce for everyone. So let me look inside your box office for a second. In the money, you know what I'm talking about, Junior? Let's look inside their organization. Let's use introspection and look inside their organization. What can they be going through? They have limited dates, limited money. Good, not their ratings have not bottomed out. They are successful because they've been relatively stable, right? So they feel better than DAZN does, who is bleeding, and Top Rank, who is stumbling along. However, be careful if people peek your game. You don't want to be a magician and people know the sleight of hand. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the sleight of hand, who's to who, whether it's one way or the other. You can't tell me that these channels that are making videos saying Gary Russell Jr.'s ducking can't hear. And at this point in time, dude, I'm telling you, call it what it is. Call a liar a liar. Love him or hate him. Call a lie a lie. If y'all catch me on a lie, call me on my lie. Somebody call me on a lie. I know it's rare niggas can catch me on shit. But motherfucker caught me. Made me smile. I was like, yeah, we got a lot of motherfuckers in here. There are some smart niggas in here now. Now we fucking around in the big leagues. Okay, now it's not easy. It's not boring. It's a challenge. Because the dude said, don't tell me Terence Crawford, you love Terence Crawford, man. And I was like, you're right. I don't love him. Saying that is a bridge. You know what I mean? It is a way to let you know that I don't have any disrespect for him. I don't have any ill will towards him. I just want to see him run. I know that you can run. I know how fast you can run around this track. I want to see if you race Sean Porter, can you beat him? Because I think Sean Porter might get you. I think Sean Porter might outrun you. But you can't tell me who is he beating. Oh, Errol outran him. What the fuck does that got to do with something, dude? You running slower niggas. You running against slower people. You're talking about what you can run. Nah, dude, no. You got to get it. It's the NCAA's, dog. Everybody can run. You know what I mean? You like killing it. You killing it, you know, in the JUCO level. You killed it, killed it in the JUCO level. You killed it in the Division I level, NCAA Division I level, or whatever, if it's a basketball parallel or whatever. But now you in the pros, dog. These niggas ain't impressed. They were all stars. They were all talked about like that. Every one of them. Every one of them has gotten the praise that Terence Crawford has right now out of his community. Every one. Keith Thurman was easily thought of highly as a fighter as Terence Crawford is now. Because, dude, the people, the networks in there, they're not giving him the number one pound for pound status. That's us. The only people saying he's the number one pound for real, are black people. That's it. And you niggas, you take him for granted. Nah, man. So y'all get on your shit. But the reason that I wanted to talk about this panel, we got 720, and I wanted to make sure I did this like at this point. There were 728 people on this chat, and I hadn't said but 5 fucking words. The audience has been maintained the whole time. People have been interacted with the whole time, and you didn't need me. So when I'm saying, dude, that there's talent in the LDBC, I mean it. This dude is on at 8 o'clock. This dude down here right below me is on at 8 o'clock in the morning, dude. He's no joke. You know BFTB. I've been told you he's no joke. You couldn't kill that nigga with the shit you tried to kill him with. How fucking real does that get? You can't fuck with this nigga. And might I add, you know now who he is, which should awaken you niggas, because you don't get all the shit that he did without being literally a grave digger. You think he playing when he say grave digger? No. There's some fucking graves out in that motherfucking world. Okay, literally, with a nigga like this, because he served his country honorably. And like they say, real recognize real. So all you did when you attacked him is you just made him bigger. It's like a fucking Hydra. We like that, don't we? Don't we like the Greek mythology? We talk about symbolism and all that, but sometimes we miss the shit right in our face. Nigga, that's the Hydra. We a Hydra. You try to cut up one, try to cut a head off, 3 will grow. Because you lying. The Hydra is the truth. And as many times you try to cut the fucking head off the truth, because, right, isn't it reptilian? Like the snake and the tail? Right, I'm talking to you Masons. I ain't a Mason, but I'll talk to you Masons. Because y'all know, ain't that the snake that eats the tail? Mythology tells you lose in this situation, in organizational structures. Because you go at BFTB, wow, this nigga grew. Literally grew another head. Right in front of you. Wow. Because he jumped on my channel. Wow. Voice came out. Head grew back. Wow. Literally can't fuck with this dude. I've sent niggas to get to body. Half my fucking fun is sending you niggas to die over there on the fucking grave digger. For real. So you niggas ain't on his level. Let's just be real. You're not on his level. All y'all think y'all on his level. He's some joke. Y'all ain't on his level, man. Not intellectually, not accomplishment wise. This dude was a fucking military star that shined. And you niggas wanted to rip him fucking down, you pussies. You pussies. And I'm going to call it what it is, pussy. You pussies for what you tried to do. And rah, what's happening now? Right in your face. Stop fucking with people, man. Do what the fans say, nigga. We come into the ring with our money. Stop trying to game us. And this young G's. This ain't me. And that's why I want to make sure I didn't say shit. Because I've been letting niggas talk all week. You didn't think I was going to end up with the cats that I've described? The ones that I described for you at the beginning of the show? Yeah, dude, I'm real fucking smart. But I can recognize, I'm smart enough to recognize niggas that are smarter and younger and hungrier, who listen, who work, who think, who are fearless, who are secure in themselves. I suggest you stop fucking with these dudes. And I keep trying to tell you to stop, but you won't stop. Some of y'all think y'all can get cute and steal their content. Stop. I'm telling you right now, if you're in the LDBC stealing niggas' content and not giving content, don't. Please don't. Please don't. If you sending notes around talking about 78 Sports TV ain't the general, he don't run it because a lot of people don't like him, please don't. Please don't. Look at the history of niggas that tried that. You niggas is crawling back on your fucking knees, trying to slide in, nigga, because you dead. Because we put you there. Because like I said in that note, nigga, we can build and destroy. You want to get along? Respect 78. You niggas tried to run me with that. Like I said, 78 runs the LDBC. He owns the LDBC as a brand. You niggas talk about brand, fuck brand. You niggas want to talk about cap, fuck cap. OG. Reputation and lie. Reputation, fuck your brand. It's your reputation, you cute nigga. All you motherfuckers trying to do is rename old shit and act like it's some new shit. No, your brand is your fucking reputation. This right here has a reputation for being a high quality sports product. And this symbology, that's why I try to talk to you dumb niggas. This symbol means that to you. So you don't want anything but this symbol on you because of what it means to you. I can trust, hey, these people see this. This is that's platinum. That's diamonds. You know what I mean? This is Fitbit, so it'll tell you I'm not fat. I'm trying not to be fat. You know what I mean? You can look behind my shoulder and say black ball. You know, I like sports. You know, I love black people. You see a PhD next to there. That's intelligence that's important to me. You see $3,000 worth of audio equipment. That means the nigga got a little dough in the bank. You can see symbols. You can think with your brain. We're not dumb. We are Moors. And we got a different flow than you. And that's just the truth. Just like Gary told you. And if you niggas think for a minute we fold, when a nigga stand up on and tells you what he is and what he thinks straight up and with no shame of telling you, knowing he'd be ridiculed for it. Y'all missed that part of the interview that I never even really put that up. I told people just take it and talk about that. You think we're gonna fucking sell out Gary Russell Jr. for any of you niggas? Me? For any of you niggas? No. It's a wrap. Because I know what he is. Nah, man, PBC, you slipping. I'm telling you. Telling you like I told other people, and the shit keeps coming, dude. For real, I'm not going to engage in any type of prevention of what the fuck is going to go on if fucking Gary Russell Jr. don't get a good fight. I'm telling you, I'm not standing in the way of that shit. I stood in the way of niggas rolling over Gary Russell Jr. already. I don't know if you saw how many shots I took, but I took a lot. Standing in the middle saying, nah, man, y'all not going to do this to Gary Russell Jr. You're not going to label him like this. You're not going to call him a duck. You're not going to run his name. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. And you're not going to do it claiming you rep fans, because you don't rep fans. You rep yourself. And be for real, niggas see it. People see it. And don't think, man, that don't think people is fooled, man. Don't think it. Like I said, 750 people in this building, dog, I promise you I can leave. I can go leave, sit in my backyard, not listen to nothing. And I know these niggas gonna murk you. I can walk away. All I say is, hey, no F-bombs, not fuck bombs, but, try not to, nothing to do with, don't tear down other people's lifestyles. If I could give them just a couple of those, right? Just a couple things. Don't put people in the position of giving you information that these niggas can use to destroy them. Number one, you get these dudes on your channel, don't do that to them. I understand what is understood. You don't need to ask them. Don't put him in a position of starting shit. You know what I mean? Unless they want to start some shit. If they want to, like Batman and Gary want to start some shit so they can pop off and start some shit. But if somebody else don't want to start some shit, don't start some shit on them and embroil them in it. But be understanding that we can, if we want to. I discourage organized hit campaigns on fighters and things. I do. I openly discourage it in the LDBC. But I'm just Fannon. I'm not 78. I'm not black. I'm not Fred. But Fred's not in the LDBC. But respect to the obvious connection between the two. Blue is new media and LDBC. Respect to the community, to the new media connection with Blue Blood. So I can't affect what any of these guys going to do. Man, I ain't standing in the middle of motherfuckers again if that nigga ain't a more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it ain't like real, because it ain't worth it to me. Y'all got to get your act together, man. I mean, for real. And I'm talking to the PBC. You got to get your act together. Because we about to get a lot of money. I'm telling you, straight up. You like to know numbers? I'll tell you numbers. Don't let niggas make $100,000 trying to kill you. Okay? Because trust me, these super chats fly in. They fly in. Don't let motherfuckers encourage us into destroying you. Look, my man Daniel Staley, I'm missing the super chats. When motherfuckers telling me with their money, they talking to me with their pocket. Something for the fellas. $20, nigga. That is 3/5 of your fucking pay-per-view, nigga. I getting pay-per-view niggas money in here. You know what I'm saying? The voluntary pay-per-views. We ain't even gotta ask. Because they want us to come get you. They want them to come get you. The people are speaking. You can't destroy me. That's the Hydra. It's the truth. It's the truth. That's why you can't move niggas, because it's the truth. If you have all the information and you can judge for yourself, and we have it now. We have it now. I don't ever have to talk to another PBC fighter. I don't ever have to talk to another DAZN fighter. I know now. I know because I've seen the run get played. How many southpaws you got to fight? How many times you got to fight a southpaw before you get comfortable? How long do you think it takes an internet mob of boxing fans to get a promotional company if they're going to self-fund themselves and keep going at you? And the more they go at you, the more you fight back, the more money we make. Right? Ain't that what you say about the LDBC? You asking, you begging for super chats? No, we not. They are funding your demise. Don't try to turn it around. Motherfuckers, I'm not a street dude. They are just trying to fund your demise. And I'm like, shit, I'll play my part if necessary. That's a bit of a joke. I like to talk boxing, but dog, I'm telling you, that's what you up against. Because there's some motherfucking type cats that want to go super hard. And I think you heard it. Super hard. Super hard. I ain't playing you with you hard. Dog, if that's what it takes, you know what'll take, you know what'll happen? Voices like me of moderation will have to sit down and be quiet while they run over you. Straight up. And some of these dudes want to do it physically. If you ain't checked it, like some of these dudes is really, 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 really not happy. So, dog, Respect the young G's. Don't act like we the media. We ain't the media. Your label ain't going to work. Because like I said, I broke down at least the very basic structure of symbology and what that means. Brands are just your reputation. That's all it means. Fuck what Jay-Z says. I'm a businessman. What is it? I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. No. You a dude with a name. And when they see your name, they think certain things about your name. And if your name is good, people will give you the benefit of the doubt. If your shit is fucked, they will not. If they see you, all those people you tried to send at me, telling them I was playing with kids and my name was Fannon Caldwell, you know that corny shit you tried, not knowing, nigga, I was already really, 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 really deep. No, nigga, I'm really, 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 really deep in the black boxing community, dog. I know, and I'm with. You see. No, man, it's not going to work. You're going to have to give us the fights or you're going to have to lay down because that's how they're going to roll on you. I'm telling you. Till you see, they're still, let me tell you, it's so hot that that remnants of the shit is still attacking Gary Russell Jr. because they don't even understand. Think there's some honesty to the fact that maybe these dudes that are making these videos just don't know. I don't believe that, but maybe they just don't know. But they're risking themselves by doing it. There are certain people, dude, that people had a pristine reputation. Not a pristine brand, a pristine reputation. But now they not cap, they lying. Language, symbology, it's important. It all blends. And I'm telling you guys are in a terrible position. You all are. You're all in a bad position. We try to tell the internet media, you guys are in a bad position because your model is broken. It has to be high profit, low cost. Your model's broken. You're high cost. All that shit you do flying all over the place, spending all that fucking money. That's high cost. The difference is you want businesses that make heck profit. The difference between cost and what you make, so we can run almost free of cost. We have no overhead. We got 50,000 paying members and no overhead. How are you going to fuck with that financially? How can you do that? And every time you attack us, we get bigger? How does that work? How long do you think that's going to be, Mr. Smith, before that rolls over you? I see you guys get on YouTube channels and all that, but you can't do it because you're not good at it. You just can't make the shift to the model. You can't. It takes a different level of talent. It takes a different perspective. It takes more diversity in your knowing. You have to know boxing history. You have to know current events. You have to know, have to have political relationships. You have to know to partner between channels. You have to know, you have to be able to accept public opinion. Sometimes you have to ride with public opinion. So you have to truly inform people and give them things that other people aren't. And that main thing that you have to give them that nobody else can provide them is yourself. Yourself. Nobody can be me. I tell every young channel, everybody that talks about this shit, dude, you cannot be me. That is not an arrogance. That is just the truth. You cannot be me. When BFTB say you can't fuck with me because you can't fuck with him because you're in his zone. He will destroy you in his zone. It's him. I'm telling you, it's the LDBC. And accent on the C. Lion, that describes the person. We coming at you. We think highly of ourselves, man. We ain't fucking flexing. And when one dude fucks up, we'll eat him. Okay? Don't fuck around. We might roll up on his babies too. Eat his babies. Sleep with his wife. That's lions, right? Go watch them. They don't fuck around, nigga. They gonna die. They old nigga broke up will still fight to die. Young dude comes anywhere near the old dude shit. When he cops him off, he kills everybody that ain't giving him some pussy. It's what it is. You gonna die if you don't give me some pussy. You too young to give me some pussy, nigga. Die. Ah. Nobody gets none but me. You know what I mean? That's the line. That's why I say lion's den, which means there's a bunch of us. It's a den of us. Nah, dog. BFTB's my guy. BFTB ever goes in on me, hey, dog, it's time to roll. If I ever go in on BFTB, I know it's time to roll. Because we ain't going to back down because that's what it is. But we in the den, and I know that about him. So they ain't got to worry about that. And he knows that about me. Some of y'all thought I was soft. Some of y'all thought it was sweet. No, I'm smarter than you. What did I tell you? Yes, I will wrap you up. Yes, I will wrap you up, and I won't play fair. I won't. You won't see me coming. You won't. The shit happened to you. You thought it was him. It wasn't, nigga. It was me. The Don. That's what it is. That's what niggas told you about me. You think that motherfuckers say that shit because they don't see how I move? They're like, that's what this nigga does. The Don. And I don't argue with it because for real, 78 Sports TV got something going heavy. Please, y'all stop fucking it up. Black Fight Fan TV got something going great with Trill. Y'all need to respect him. That's all it is. That's what I'm saying. And now you see Junior the Truth, BFTB, Drew Titan, KQKC, respect them. Money Brown, respect them. If they put something out, give them credit for it. But the media, that's the personal stuff. The media, though, understand, dude, we're organized, man. If you ain't caught it. We're organized. This is not some loose affiliation of idiots. That's what you should understand about what happened. We are not a loose affiliation of idiots. There was a much more talk behind the scenes than there was on the internet. Way more. Way more discussions with Cali, in DC, in Texas, in Minnesota. Many conversations behind the scenes. Many. They culminated in a lot of pressure on you with people that may not all wanted the same thing. However, because we have structure, when things get crazy, we can go to 78 and everybody can drop their money that's serious. So we know that ain't no imposters. So that we know for sure there ain't no imposters. Because if you're paying tithes to the organization, the guy that literally owns the brand, because that's why it's 78. Now, people be like, Fannon, niggas sending me notes about Fannon, man. Don't ever try that shit. I mean, about 78. Y'all don't ever try me with that again. Never try that with me again. Never send me a note questioning why I support 78 Sports TV. I will air you out like I did. He knows it. I know it. Everybody listening now knows it. I'm not going to say who it is, though they came through a second hand, tried to slip it cute. No. The issue between Devin Haney and Gary Russell Jr. was settled on Trill Boxing Talk. Don't come asking me what it says on my channel about it. Because nothing that I say, none of the videos mean anything now. Because 78 Black Fight Fan TV, Batman, and them updated you. Corrected any errors on my part. And let y'all know where it stands. Because we're organized. We the mob don't mean we violent. It means we're organized. Organized. Very organized. Much more organized than you are. Much more. Everybody knows where y'all live. Literally. Know where your gyms are. Literally have people in your gyms. Literally. Literally. You think, I mean, figuratively, no, I mean literally. We have LDBC members in all of your gyms. Every single one of them. Probably in the country. If they're not Spanish speaking or British or some other shit like that. But if you a black fighter, dog, we got somebody in the camp. Leave it. Holding mitts. Owning the building. Driving the trucks. And they all got emails and phones. Who can tell you, oh, guess what? You should have seen how this fighter punched this nigga straight in the face like 6 times and it got him out of camp. Like he cannot, this motherfucker's getting pot shotted. He's a fucking hype job type shit. But anyway, you get my point. Did Junior the Truth leave?
Yeah, he had a customer.
Okay, cool. Hey, BFTB moderate, man. I overdid it, man. I went too long. You got it? You on mute?
Nah, you definitely good. Go. You didn't go too long. I mean, you could go.
Go ahead, man. So y'all just carried on from there, carrying the conversation from there. Oh,
definitely. Yeah, we got you. And we was cooking on this. Fannon was giving a good cook, bro. That was a deep cook that he was hitting right there, man. That was some savage stuff. And a lot of it probably went over a lot of people's heads. But I caught it, and I was in the middle of catching it and breaking it down to give it to the ones that really didn't capture it, how he was putting it out there. And there's probably a lot of people that missed it. In a nutshell, we run this. In a nutshell, we run this. And there's really nothing that anybody can do about it. And what makes it so that we're so untouchable is because nobody can do what we can do. There isn't anybody that can be Drew. There isn't anybody that can do what I do. If you try to do what I'm doing, you fuck around and get destroyed, bro. Some troll fuck around and annihilate you. You try to do what I do. You can't fuck with us, bro. Like, all of us have our own little niche, and you can't really do what we do. So because you can't do what you do, you steal our shit. Steal our shit. I was looking on Boxing 24. Man, I'm like, bro, that I saw that same shit that you just said on 7-8 shit. I saw the same shit that I just said this. You stole my shit and whatever, bro. Whatever. It is what it is. At this point, bro, I don't really I care, but I don't care, because I'm going to still keep doing my thing. I'm going to still keep running with what I run with. This fight is the biggest fight that can be made at this moment. This fight with Devin Haney and Mr. Gary Russell is the biggest fight that can be made. I understand there's other fights going on. I do. But I've been telling y'all before, people keep saying this person's a face, and this person's a face of boxing, and this person's a face. The face of boxing is who we make the face of boxing. We make the face of boxing because we pay these people. We pay to watch these people. We pay to go to their fights. This is what we do. You're not going to tell me who the face of boxing is. You can't tell me who the face. You cannot. Whole other subject, but I'm just saying, you can't tell me that, bro. You can't. What it is what we want. That's what it is. And we want Gary Russell, Devin Haney. We want Gary Russell, Devin Haney. That's what we want. We don't want Devin Haney versus Gamboa. If anything, right now, the position that Devin Haney and Gary Russell are in, both of them, the position that they're in, it's a very, very good position. We are pushing Gary because he hasn't been pushed. He hasn't been pushed. And, we really don't like to talk about, I'm not going to say we. I don't like to talk about certain things, but I'm going to. Definitely going to. I don't like how the PBC is doing with Gary Russell. I really don't like it. I really don't. And we give Bud a lot of shit with this because he's not fighting nobody. We give him a lot of shit. He ain't fighting nobody. But Gary Russell Jr. even said he don't want to fight no bums, bro. He don't want to fight no bums. He wants to fight top dudes. He told everybody the reason why, because we were giving him shit. You only fight once a year. You only fight once a year. You only fight once a year. He told everybody out of his own mouth, the reason why I fight once a year because I don't want to fight a fucking bum. I don't want to fight I want to fight killers. I want to fight monsters. I want to fight those people that if you say they're a beast, that's who I want. If you say they're a monster, that's who I want. If you say they're the best, that's who I want. So if I can't get that, then I'll fight my mandatory, and then I'll just keep pressing to get that. Bro, how can you disrespect that? How can you go against that, bro? I don't understand how you can go against it. Now I get it. On the flip side of that coin, you can say, well, I want to see Gary fight. And that can be your disdain for him fighting just his mandatories because you want to see more of him. You know what I'm saying? You want to see more of him. So I can understand that. I can understand that aspect. But to just shit on the man altogether, bro, if he's fighting a mandatory, that means someone is forcing that fight to happen. It's not like he's actively, aggressively seeking mandatories. He's seeking killers. He wants, well, I don't consider Leo Santa Cruz no killer, but that's what he wants. He wanted Carl Frampton. He wants these guys. He even said it out of his own mouth. Devin Haney was the guy he was searching. He was trying to fight before this pandemic shit. That's the guy he was going for. I'm confused at where the hate comes towards him. Now, again, I can understand if you have your thought process is you want to see the man fight more. I get that. Totally get that. But the disdain, the hate, hear motherfuckers saying, oh, well, you know, Gary Russell is making the DMV look bad. Like, what? Fuck you talking about? Well, what do we say? What? He is that. There is no fighter. There is no other fighter in DC. And there may be, but we don't know who they are. Gary Russell is that dude there. Period. Well, you know, heavyweights and middleweights and I mean, there's fighters. I'm not gonna say there is none. There is fighters there. However, we don't know who they are. We know who Mr. Gary Russell is. He's that dude. So when people are saying, "Oh well, you know, we out here clowning it. We out here in DC. We don't get it." Well, what planet is you niggas on? What world are y'all living on where y'all saying, "Oh, Gary out here clout chasing"? What you mean? Clout chasing? We'll prove him wrong then. Call his bluff. Call his bluff. Call his bluff. If Gary not that dude, call his bluff. This is the reason why us as LDBC, us as Jared Hurd there, Swift Hurd there, Swift Hurd is there. But let's be real with ourselves. Let's be real. After Swift Hurd lost, where'd his name go? Let's be real. This is no shade. I love Swift. I love him. I got mad love. But let's be real. After he lost, where did his name go? Let's be real with ourselves. Be real with ourselves. Let's be, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. When he lost, where did his name go? Was the buzz for her to fight Charlo there anymore?
Disappeared.
Well, was the buzz for him? Where was it? Gary Russell lost to Lomachenko years ago. And his name is still popping. Now, I'm not saying that Hurd is not a good fight. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to y'all is that Gary Russell lost to Lomachenko years ago and he's still popping. Still popping in DC. Still popping. Now we know Tank is Baltimore. We know that. I know that. But Gary Russell is still popping. He's never fell off. Never fell off. All this weird shit about no Moschenko, he's stopping this person, making this person quit. This person's quitting. This person's falling off. Gary took this man the distance. Are we forgetting this? This is supposed to be the greatest fighter since Ali. That's what Bob Arum, according to Bob Arum. Well, you know, Lomachenko is the greatest fighter I've ever seen since Sugar Ray Robinson. Well, Gary Russell took him the distance and dropped him. Are we forgetting this? But yet, disrespecting this man. Oh, we clowning him out here. We clowning Gary Russell. Who clowning him? Who is these people you talking about, my nigga? I'm baffled at all. I'm confused, homie. Definitely confused. Gary Russell's name has been on top and it has not gone nowhere. From even when he lost to Lomachenko until now, it's still there. Still there. This fight between Mr. Gary Russell lost to Lomachenko and Devin the Dream, bro, is a monster fight. It's a monster fight, bro. It's a monster. This fight is huge. It's huge. It's fucking huge, bro. This is such a great fight, bro. y'all don't even understand how big of a fight this is. Y'all don't understand how big of it is. If Devin Haney is to beat Mr. Gary Russell, his career is catapulting. He does something that only Lomachenko has done. That's it. And if Mr. Gary Russell is to beat Devin Haney, bruh, his spot is solidified with gorillas because we're bigging Devin Haney to the gods, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. But if Gary Russell beats Devin Haney, his spot's solidified with monsters. Monsters. Go ahead, cook on it, Drew. I don't want to take it over. Oh, my brother Max in the building. Stay
Max in the building. Let Mac take it. Let Mac take it. Max in the building. What's good?
What's up, Fannon? Man, I was supposed to be on here early. I overslept.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep cooking, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you. Otherwise, I'm gonna eat this one. Go ahead, Mac. You got it.
Hey, man, salute to you, man. Salute to Fannon for letting me on the platform today, man. I overslept. I was supposed to have been on here, man. I was just messed around and got on YouTube and was listening in until I started checking my emails, and I'm like, damn, he just sent me the link. So let me jump on before he closed it out, man. What was
I was in here cooking, bro. But I know how I get, and I know once I start on this, I know what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna just keep cooking. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to.
Hey, BFTB, keep cooking and give Stay Ready a couple minutes to get situated. Hey, everybody, look. This is Stay Ready Boxing. Subscribe to his channel. It's another one of the dudes. I'm telling you, young dude out of the state of Texas. Kinfolk to the Great Black Fight Fan TV. You know what I mean? He always says, "What's up, Kinfolk?" That's Stay Ready Boxing. So make sure y'all, and he's at the man, great dude, man, excellent content. He's out, it was last night. He shows up he's on channels like Money Brown TV, and you'll see him, man. He's a real dude, another dude that is really knowledgeable about the sport, young cat, man. So, give him a good listen to, and going out there and subscribe to his channel, check out his videos, check out his stuff, man. Really, really good, knowledgeable dude out of the LDBC. And he represents LDBC unabashedly. Ain't no waffles. No waffles I need to make some cute black thing to say, man. Like, ain't no waffles on his plate. Like, I've been hanging. Like, I need to be like, can I do a Bill Haney? Like, nigga, ain't no waffles on this plate. Nigga, pour the syrup. So he's dead set, would ride with the LDBC, dog.
Yeah, this is a brotherhood. This is my family right here. So, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to this boxing, even out of everything that I do, I make sure I rep the LDBC and people know who we are.
Yes, sir. So go ahead and keep cooking, BFTB, and then if you can moderate, BFTB, just moderate, and and then roll them in like that. Or you better moderate because I want to get off. Y'all are good. Don't need me.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get my brother Mac in. But I'm gonna cook a little bit longer, Mac, and then I'm gonna give it to you, bro, because I was actually on something, bro. I rewatched the Gary Russell Lomachenko fight, because what people use to shit on Gary, and I want you to understand this. What people use to shit on Gary Russell, what they use to shit on him is Lomachenko. That's what they use. They say, oh, well, he lost Lomachenko. He was washed by Lomachenko. He was did this by Lomachenko. He was did that by Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? That is what they use. And when you look at Lomachenko, they say, well, Lomachenko's the greatest fighter since this and the greatest fighter since that. So the last I checked, people didn't shit on Joe Frazier for losing to Muhammad Ali. The last I checked, just saying. Didn't shit on George Foreman losing to Muhammad Ali. Just saying. George Foreman is still a great. Joe Frazier, great. I'm just throwing it out there. But yet you shit on Gary Russell for losing to a guy that you compare to Muhammad Ali. Make that shit make sense. And he dropped him clean, very clean. 2 body shot, boop, boop, hook to the head, a left hook to the head, dropped him. And then they went the distance. So I'm trying to understand, how can you disrespect a fighter who went the distance with a fighter you're claiming is the greatest since Ali, fighter that you have, most people have in their pound for pound,
well, not most people, but most like of old media or media in general, have in your pound for pound rankings. You have him in your pound for pound rankings. He went the distance with the man, with the distance, and dropped the man. And I'm trying to understand that fight was he won by decision. He beat him. Lomachenko won by decision. Whether it was majority, split, unanimous, it was still a decision. This is no Maschenko, remember? This is the guy beating people so bad, the matrix, the footwork, the speed, the combination, and the angles. This is the guy that's styling and shining on people, beat Rigondeaux, beat Nicholas Walters. This is the guy stopping these people. This is the guy that's doing such special work to all these fighters. But yet Gary Russell, and I believe, no, it was split or majority, one or two. But the bottom line is he knocked the man down clean. The matrix. So I'm sitting here like, this gives this fight even more significance. Because if I see my homie Trail in the building, say White Jesus. Now, if White Jesus got dropped clean by Gary Russell, if Black Jesus, aka Devin Haney, beats Gary Russell more cleaner than White Jesus did, do we have a biblical fight? Just a question. Do we have a biblical fight? Because the last I checked, White Jesus ducked Black Jesus to fight Luke Skywalker. The last I checked. I ain't never seen Mr. Gary Russell duck anybody. I ain't never seen Black Jesus duck anybody. So I'm just throwing that out there. The last I checked, Lomachenko took the franchise belt over fighting Black Jesus. Just throwing it out there. This fight right now between Mr. Gary Russell and Black Jesus is a gigantic fight, y'all. It's a gigantic fight. Do you know what the equivalent of this is? The equivalent of this is an Errol versus Bud without any bullshit from Bob Arum or anybody else. This is just Errol Bud running up on they seen each other saying, this is the fight. Oh, we making this and we're fighting. Period. Then all they need is someone to add the bread to it. Someone to sign off on it and call it a day. Someone to sign off on it and call it a day. That's all we need. That's it. That is the equivalent of this fight right now with Mr. Gary Russell and Black Jesus. That's it, y'all. But people, we're overlooking the significance of this fight. We're overlooking the significance. Gary Russell only has one loss to who we call White Jesus. The footwork, the speed, the combination, the angles. This man was something we've never seen before in the sport of boxing. We're bumping this man through the high heavens. That's his only loss. And he knocked him down. And it was a decision. Does that not tell y'all all y'all need to know? But Black Jesus hasn't fought that level of competition yet. Black Jesus has not fought that level of competition yet. Not saying that Black Jesus can't beat him. I'm saying he hasn't fought that level of competition. That's what I'm saying. He hasn't fought that. Hasn't fought that level yet. At all. Now, if he loses, if Black Jesus loses, bro, that's a big hit for him. But he's got a lot of time to come back. A lot of time. This is a huge fight, bro. This is a huge, huge fight. Bro, this fight, it must be made. It must be. We gotta remove the match rooms, remove the zones, remove the PBCs, bro. These suits that's holding this shit back. This fight is very significant. It must happen. Mac, what you got on that, guy? Mac, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. I was trying to get off mute. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Like, this fight do have to happen. At this point, we done sat here and watched. We didn't watch them make it circles. You know what I'm saying, on everybody's channel. We've seen Batman. We've seen Bill. We've even seen Devin come out. We've seen Gary come out and speak. At this point, we have to have this fight. Y'all done built this fight up to tremendous magnitude throughout the fans. So from what I'm seeing is like if we don't get this fight, it's a disappointment in my eyes. Like this is the first time the true boxing fan actually gets a chance to see negotiations happen in their face. Like you actually get to see contract talk. You get to see the details iron out. You get to see the animosity between the two because of the contract negotiations. You get to see this firsthand. And this is the first fight the fans can truly say that they made. So at this point, if we don't get the fight, it's a disappointment in my eyes. Like I love Gary and I love Devin. Devin, I've been telling people is the two most talented fighters, up and coming fighters in the sport is Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. Gary Russell got the fastest hands in boxing. He's already made himself, and he's still trying to build his profile because don't nobody want to fight him. Nobody at 126 is trying to fight him. When nobody at 130 is trying to fight him. So Gary moved up to 135 to get him a fight. Devin agreed to the fight. At this point, we have to have this fight. It's no way around it. If we don't get this fight, I can't even fathom who would we as the fans, because I think it'll be some people giving Devin the blame, some people giving Gary Russell the blame, but at the end of the day, we need to see this fight. I'm seeing Devin sending over paperwork. I'm seeing Gary go over and say, "Well, I need you to fix this. I need y'all to come together so we can get this fight," because I think this can be one of the biggest fights of this year. It's just like that. We got the Charlo brothers next weekend, the 26th. I don't think that pay-per-view is going to do the numbers it's doing that it can do because they're not promoting the fight properly. They're not promoting that fight properly at all. We don't even see – I'm not even seeing commercials for that fight. For the Wilder Fury fight, we saw commercials 3 months out. For Errol Spence fight, we saw the commercials 2 months out. We 2 weeks away from the fight. I haven't seen nothing.
That's because the fight bigger.
Huh?
It's a crazy statement to say, bro.
I know, and you know how big of a Charlo fan I am.
Yes, and me too. Me too.
And you know, for me to say
this
that,
fight's bigger.
Yeah, this fight is bigger,
saying, bro. I'm just saying. No, more significant is that one.
Yeah,
and bro, I'm going to get it and all that. I'm just. This is bigger, bro.
It's way bigger, and that's my point.
That's bigger for ourselves. We're not even talking about that.
And that fight is 2 weeks away. We're not talking about a unification fight. That fight is 2 weeks away, and we're not even speaking on a unification fight. That shows y'all how big this fight is. So if this fight don't get made, it's a major disappointment to the boxing community.
Facts, all facts, all facts. And I keep hearing these people keep talking about this fight ain't big, this fight ain't huge. Well, what fight are we talking about?
Why ain't it big? You listening to us. You listen to every channel on you. It's not a channel on YouTube that talk boxing, not speaking on this fight. How is this fight not big?
Facts. All facts. This is all we talk about. This is
even fight hype. Bro, you can go on Twitter right now. Michael Benson, Mike Coppinger of The Athletic, they talking about this fight. This is a big fight. It don't get no bigger than it.
I'm blown away, homie. I'm blown away at the fact that we have the Charlos fighting in 2 weeks. We have Lomachenko and Teofimo fighting. We have those fights of significance. Those are significant. But all we're talking about is Devin the Dream Haney, Gary Russell Jr.
Fact.
Bro, that should tell you all you need to know. That should
You got Lomachenko with a whole lawsuit out here. We're not even speaking on that lawsuit. That's major.
The Canelo Alvarez lawsuit. Don't nobody care. No one cares.
Nobody cares.
What we are telling you what we care about. We are out here every single day telling you, bro, y'all motherfuckers be stealing our shit. You're in the comments watching. You know what it is we want. We're telling you what we want.
Facts.
Every single day. But yet you're just gonna give us some shit we ain't even asking for. Now, but not the Charlo. We want that. We do. But what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Bro, it's very simple. You look at what the people want. If you look at what the people want, And if people are telling you what we're showing you, we're talking about what we want. You take what we want and you give it to us. Sold. It's done. The fight's sold. You take what we want and give it to us. Don't give us what you want to give us. Give us what we're telling you we want. And we're giving it to you free. This is free right now. This is free game. This is what we want. We want Devin the Dream, Gary Russell. That's what we want. But you're giving us some shit that we didn't even ask for.
Exactly.
And then the shit that we do want, you ain't even promoting it. You're not even talking about it. So we're telling you what we want.
But then you're gonna get people and Black Fight fans said it's PBC has a lot of arrogance. And then you got Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is the type of person, if he was a salesman, he tried to tell you what you want instead of listening to what you want. The PBC wants to give us what we want, but they want to make it feel like they're the reason for it. And we didn't give them that idea. And you got both of these entities they're fighting over the fight. They know we want the fight. They're trying to figure out a way to give us the fight to where people don't make it seem like we're the ones that came up with the idea for this fight, and we helped Gary Russell and Devin Haney come together to make this fight. And that's just the truth of the statement. If you go back and look at the past, what was that big thing that Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn said fights don't get made on YouTube?
Yeah.
And they're trying to snake their way around it, but it's not, because this is the first one, but it won't be the last one.
In fact, they might try and steal this blueprint right now. They're working on it right now.
Oh,
You're gonna see a lot more shit happen online. But it's gonna fail on its face because it's not organic. This happened completely by accident. It wasn't planned. It's like an unplanned pregnancy producing the next Messiah. You understand? That's how important this is. So moving forward, you're going to see a lot more trash talking online. You're going to see a lot more YouTube channels pop up. You're going to see a lot of created beef between niggas that we don't want to even see fighting.
Right.
They're going to try and duplicate us, and it's going to fail. It's so funny, man. Getting back to what you said, we've been used to being slaves for a long time. Well, not me. I was always hip to the game plan. But the only people that are cool with these important fights not happening are the people that are fans of fighters and not fans of the sport. You understand what I'm saying? They're fans of fighters and not fans of the sport. So they're okay with Lomachenko just rattling up some B-level guys or just their mandatory that they know he's going to beat. They're not okay with him getting in the ring with Gary Russell for a rematch. They're not okay with him getting in the ring with Devin Haney. They're okay with him beating up these ham and eggers. They're okay with that because it keeps their guys safe. And that is the fucking problem. That's the problem with boxing. It comes to the point where, okay, we like seeing our favorite guy winning. All right. But you know what? When there's a guy there that is a problem, it's like, okay. You know what? He got to face this music. And if that fighter starts tap dancing around getting that work, that's where we come in and hold them accountable. It's like, no, hold on, nigga. We done supported you all this time. There's work right here. I want to solidify. I can't talk about you being the best if you're not taking care of this fella right here. He's in front of you. Why the hell does Gary Russell have to go from 126 to 147? Can't find a goddamn fight. Where in the universe does that make sense? Nobody wants that work. You know what they do? Here's the classic trick. He ain't worth it. How many asses he put in the seat? He ain't worth it. I don't give a fuck because because you know what? You know why that doesn't matter now? Especially now? There's a pandemic. There ain't no asses in the seat. Now what you gonna tell me? Yeah. Now what you gonna tell me? No one watch him? Why we talking about him right now? Don't give me that shit. The man he threatened to go up to 147 and fight Bud. That wasn't cap. I don't care what none of these little niggas say. He wanted that fight. For $1.5 million, he's finna go up to 147. When I saw the amount, I said, hold on. They got to know each other. And they did. And what did Bud do? Nothing. So enter Devin Haney. Shout out to Devin for wanting that work. But shout out to Gary for not wanting to be quiet anymore. Fuck that. These kids are ducked. I don't mean to call them kids. You know what I mean? They're ducked. They are ducked. And they willing to get in the ring and settle this shit. There's money to be made here. Ain't no one putting no asses in the seat due to COVID. So wake the fuck up and smell the failure, PBC, because now you're on rubbery legs. It's a championship rounds now. You about to get broke up, man. Stop fucking with us. Give us what we want, not what you think we want. Y'all not always right, man. Get out of here.
Thanks. What's up, Batman?
Batman in the
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? And I wanted to say this though. If the LDBC don't stab you when you start trying to do this YouTube shit, that shit fake. That shit fake.
That shit again.
Straight up. If they don't stop this shit, if you ain't on their platform doing this shit that me and Bill doing, this shit is fake. This shit is fake. Don't let nobody else steal these people's shit, man. This shit happened on their platform, so it's theirs, man. Straight up. And then, all right, let me, like, when Tank say my little brother don't sell, you supposed to be the star. When Mayweather was the star, whoever Mayweather fought, it was ass in the seats. So don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit. We trying to build a star. You already a star. You sold out fighting Gamboa. You sold out fighting Gamboa in Atlanta. Come on, dog. That was Atlanta first joint, right? In a long time, first boxing match ever, right?
A long time, yeah.
And Gamboa put asses in seats then. How? Gamboa ain't fighting. The last time he fought was on your card when you fought in Baltimore. But after that, there ain't want nobody looking for no fucking Gamboa. You put asses in seats. You the star. So don't give me that bullshit. Stop ducking niggas, man. And then, I'm just saying, man, you know, y'all seen it yourself. The whole 126 duck Gary Russell Jr. Floyd Mayweather came, he was going to go to 30 to see Burchett just so he can fight Tank for a unification match. But what Tank do? Go look at that interview. Floyd say, man, you know, Gary Russell got to come up here and prove himself. Then, you know, if Tank's still here, you know, we'll look into that. And then what Tank do? He shot straight up to 35. He shot straight to 35. But now on the interview, he was like, man, I don't feel comfortable at 35. I feel comfortable at 30. Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all guys see this shit, man. And then y'all gotta know they need jobs. Y'all don't need them. They need jobs. Y'all pay the networks. Y'all pay the fighters. They need jobs. If y'all step the fuck off, they gonna listen to y'all. If y'all start putting the bullshit fights out that y'all don't want to see, y'all make that shit hit zero. Y'all make it hit zero. They need y'all. In any business, you need the fucking a consumer, man. If you don't have the consumer, you is broke. You will be broke. So the fans got to think, man. When they start pushing this bullshit to y'all, y'all need to start stepping the fuck off. You see UFC is striving because the best fight the best over there. All right, it's cool to build your fight up. But when he considered a contender or being the best, he need to fight the best. He need not to fight no bums. He need to not fight no up and comer. He need to not fight no tune-up fight. He need to fight the best. We need to fight the best. The best need to fight the best at all times, man. If they not hurt, if they not coming off no layoffs, that's the only time you can get a tune-up. But if you've been active or fighting, you need to fight the best. That's it. And the fans need to held the feet to the motherfucking fire of the fucking networks and the fucking promoters, man. Because they need y'all. Y'all don't need them. They fight for y'all entertainment, but they need y'all dollar. They need y'all dollar. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta start, man, being, what's it called, man? Common sense, man. Just use your common sense, man. Use your common sense. Look at the UFC. They is over there doing that motherfucker. It's just they don't pay. They ain't paying they ain't paying their people's right. That's the only thing they doing wrong. They ain't paying their people's right. But they also making the best fights over there, man. They about to make me be a UFC fan. I've been a boxing fan since I was a fucking kid, man. I love boxing, man. I know how to fight. They about to make me go be a UFC fan, man. I swear to God, man. I might start fucking training, find a trainer to train my son in the UFC. That's the only time he's going to fight the best and be the best, man. That's crazy, man.
I see.
But you know, somebody else can take over.
No, but I definitely see what you're saying, man. And there's something. It's too, the belts and the greed of the sanctioning bodies is sort of hindering. Well, not sort of. It's hindering that from happening.
Let me say something about that. Let me say one thing about that. BTF. Yeah, okay.
You good. Just BF is straight, man. You straight.
All right, BF. Listen, let me say something about that. Floyd Mayweather showed y'all them belts don't mean shit. Them belts don't mean shit. The fan dollar means something. The fan dollar. Whoever you put your money behind, that's who they gonna push. And they ain't even gotta have a belt. They don't even have to have a belt. Gotti showed you that. Arturo Gotti showed you that. When he became a fan favorite, he didn't even need a belt. He stayed his ass in Atlanta City, and he was Atlanta City favorite fighter, and they paid his ass. So them belts, they don't mean nothing. The fans, y'all gotta pick who the fuck y'all think the realest fighter, the best fighting the best, and get on their back. And I bet you that's who the fuck y'all gonna see. That's who the fuck y'all gonna see. Whoever y'all put y'all money into, that's who y'all gonna see.
All facts. All facts. So people can't tell me the biggest fights is undisputed because Floyd Mayweather was never undisputed. And he's in the top 5 of the highest grossing fights in boxing history. He was never undisputed. But he was always the fighter, either the fighter you wanted to see or the fighter you wanted to see lose. It was always that. You know what I'm saying? It was always that. So it was always the money was back behind it because that was a fighter you wanted or it's the fighter you wanted somebody to beat. So as long as he was one of those two, and what people talking about that, and that's my take right there, though, homie. When people start saying this fight isn't big, Devin versus Gary not big, it is big because it's the fight we want to see. That's why it's big. It's the fight we want to see. You either want to see Gary lose because he was running his mouth about Bud and you a Bud dick rider, so you want to see Gary lose because of that. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to see Dev win. You know what I'm saying? You want to see Dev win because you love Dev. You ride with Dev, or you riding with. There's controversy in this. There's controversy. There's drama in this. That's what sells fights, bro. The controversy and the drama. Don't nobody want to see people just kiss and hug and shaking hands and dapping up and then nobody want to see that shit. We want to see the drama. We want to see that in there, bro. When the best is fighting the best and there's drama, that makes it even bigger. That makes it bigger because there's drama in the best fighting the best. You know what I mean?
And look, BF, tell them this. Go look up everybody's name. Pull up Lomachenko name. Pull up fucking Tank Davis name. Pull up Leo Santa Cruz name. Who else fighting? Everybody that's fighting. Pull up their names and pull up Gary Russell and Devin Haney. They got the most numbers. They got the most numbers this last week. They got the most numbers out of everybody. I've been doing it. I do my homework on everything. I've been doing it. They got the most numbers out of everybody. You pull their name up and look down there and scroll down their shit. They got the most numbers. Every time they put out something, they got the most numbers.
Because this is what we want. It's not hard. It's not hard for people to understand. And it's not hard. If we wanted something else, that's what we would be talking about. If we wanted to see something, ain't nobody gonna you're not gonna mute my mouth. If that's what I want, I'm gonna tell you that's what I want. I don't need you to tell me what I want. I'm telling you what I want. You ain't gonna mute me. This is what I want. So these other fights that are happening, I mean, I'm gonna watch them. I'm definitely gonna watch them. I feel like the Charlos. I want those fights. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for those fights. This fight I want. I want this fight, bro. This is a fight I want. I'm invested in this fight. I want it. I want Mr. Gary versus Devin Haney. I want it. You know, this is and numbers don't lie. So when you start, like you just said, you start looking at this shit, you start looking at the quality and the quantity of what's being talked about. It's this fight. This is the one. This one. We know for sure Tank Davis is going to destroy Leo Santa Cruz. Now, we can try to pussyfoot around it and sugarcoat it however we want. Oh, well, you know, Leo might have a chance. You can say whatever you want. The bottom line
is Leo don't even punch hard. He don't even punch hard. The keep Tank off his ass.
Leo,
he's getting destroyed, bro. Bad.
I want to see him get destroyed. He done dug too many motherfuckers, especially like Gary Russell. I want to see his ass get beat the fuck up. So I know a lot of other people don't want to see him fight. I want to see him get his bitch ass beat the fuck up.
Right, but that's not the point I'm making. Now I definitely get that, and I want to see that too. But that's not the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is we honestly don't know who's going to win in this fight between Devin and Gary. We honestly don't know. Just be real with it. We don't know. Now we can say, like I know Batman's gonna say Gary's special, Gary gonna do this. I get it. I'm with you, homie. I'm with you. We can say Devin is this and he's that and that, but we don't know. This is a two great fight, the best versus the best, and we don't know. We don't know who's gonna win this fight. You can give whatever you want. You can say that Devin's reach and blah blah blah. You can say that Gary's skill and experience and blah blah blah. You can say what you want. You don't know. I know who's going to win with Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. I know who's going to win that. Now, I want to see a man get destroyed or beat up or whatever. I know what's going to happen, though. It's just when. It's a matter of when. This fight, the best fight in the best, you know who's going to win.
You go to any Mexican right now, they'll tell you going to win. They ain't even picking Leo. If you stand about in Las Vegas when they betting, just listen to some of the Mexicans. I bet you they putting their money on Tank Davis, man. This is the first time they ever gonna do this.
Nah,
it ain't the first time they ever gonna do this.
It ain't the first time. It might be the first time that they actually say it, but it ain't the first time. Nah, it ain't the first time.
My fault. They gonna say it.
Yeah, I got plenty of my Mexican homies that picking Leo Santa Cruz, but I don't think they.
Man, they doing that in public in front of you, dog. They doing that in public in front of you. I know they want to take their man. They want to take their man's side. They doing that in front of you to show that they sticking with their kind. But when it's time to put their money down, they not gonna do it. They not gonna do it.
If they picking Leo, tell them bet you. Put 500 on it. Give them something small.
Tell them.
These niggas gonna do. They're gonna put 100 on Leo and 500 on Tank. That's these niggas gonna do.
Trill Bill in the
Trill Bill.
Yes, sir. Top of the morning or afternoon, wherever in the cities you good brothers might be in, because it's 8:41 here. And shout out to everybody on the panel, especially and Batman. You working hard, boy. You working hard. Listen. Thank you for
what's up, Bill?
Thank you for having me on the show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Happy Sunday. Blessings on top of blessings to everyone. I just want to chime in because I think that you guys are doing more than an excellent job. I think this is groundbreaking. This is something that they haven't seen. This is a model that we wanted the opportunity to present as Devin being the youngest promoter in boxing, to actually hear what the people want, to present it and deliver it. Gary Russell, by no stretch, I want everyone to give him all of his accolades, all of his kudos. He is a great fighter. He has been a great fighter for a decade. Guys like Gary Russell and Gary Russell's family have paved the way for the Haneys. We are moving forward. Man evolves. We are evolving as black men. We're getting more on top of our game. We're hanging out at the house more than chasing the careers that they said were so important. We are not now being fathers to our kids. So when you talk about a father that's there from the very beginning, from the womb to where he's at, and we were allowed to witness everything that you guys see in the Russell family. Everything that you guys see in the Mayweather family. And only thing that we hope that we can deliver like they did and like they continue to do, both families. But we've had the benefit of being able to work and watch the model. And hopefully to you guys understand and make it better. Because when you're talking to Devin, people have the misconception that they're just talking to a fighter. I can misconstrue it and say sometimes that I'm just talking to my son, but I'm talking to the boss of our company. But if you were a man, a real true father, you set the future up, you set the legacy. None of his shit is in my name. It's him. He's the promoter. I work for him. So if it's any bullshit, should it be any bullshit, a motherfucker that need to take one for the team, well, I'll take it, fire me, and send me to hell.
Damn right. Hey, can I ask you a question, Bill?
You guys have set this tone, and we hope that we're taking the baton and running at the pace that the father and the son that's watching us, that's going to come even harder. Devin will have a test in 10 years, in a decade. If somebody sitting right now, an 11-year-old with his dad, and he say, we coming to get him. That's the respect we want. That's the respect we need from our people. I love you guys, man. I love the opportunity to not be on the street, man. I love the opportunity to say to the people, if your kid is having problems in school or in problems with the education that they teaching them at school, and they say that he's a little bit violent or he has an attention disorder because he's not actually paying attention to that shit y'all kicking, well, you take him to the gym. And around the whole country is different gyms with different communities with brothers just like this on the chat, brothers that's on the panel. You know, a star was born in Batman. You know what I mean? Let's shout out to the Russell family, who their approach to it was more laid back approach and leaving the business in the hands of other individuals. As Batman will attest to you, that's not the approach. And what I'm saying, when we discussing it for the 11-year-old. Batman got a 6-year-old. He's setting the tone for his 6, and his 6-year-old is bad as a motherfucker. Can you imagine a motherfucker say, my 6-year-old is cold? Devin started at 7 or 8. They starting at 6, 5, and 4 now. Because by the time you're 16, Devin turned pro. He was a professional at 16. He had won everything. When everybody seen that work that he was giving his good brother Shakur, he was 16, Shakur was 18. We was giving that work to help Shakur get ready for the Olympics. BFTB, I love everything that you're doing. You're a real brother. And, you know, respect is earned. We hope that we earned your respect. You earned ours. You know, this shit ain't round. You know, when you talk about giving respect, I stay to myself. I do to others as I would like done unto me. Batman, you're doing a hell of a job. It was no slight in our game when we said we would love to have you over here. We would love to work with you. Now, when we said we wanted to work with Gary, right? Well, no, you shit. We didn't even have enough on our resume of business to approach the Russell family and say, I want to come in. It was out of respect. I mean, let me say, I hold that really dear to me when you told me what you said about if I was involved in Gary's career from the beginning, what his career would look like.
So
that's what I want. That's what I want brothers to know about me. That I'm gonna go to bat. You know, this fight has been made on the LDBC platform. This is a new model. It's something that, but understand. This is what I want to say. This is what I want to say. And BFTB, you can attest to this, maybe, or you can just let me know.
For sure. Promoters
have relationships with reporters traditionally. They give them passes to come in. They sit at press row, and they do whatever they do, whatever promoter does. Is that what traditionally happens?
Yeah,
how do they get in touch with the promoter? How does the promoter get in touch with press to have press row?
How does the promoter get in touch with the press?
To have
that's that payola, man. That's that behind the scenes garbage that people always talk about. We don't know the boxing business behind the scenes and all that other nonsense.
I can tell you because I get press. I go to the fights and get with press credentials.
That's weird shit, bro. Okay. Put it that way. Listen, bro, I ain't trying to sugarcoat nothing. That's that weird shit. That's weird shit that people do. You know what I'm saying? When they try to go behind the scenes and say,
Hey, BFTB.
What's popping, go?
Hey, Stay Ready's an expert on that. When he waved his finger, if he does this,
I see. Yeah. I just want to make sure I got him though. I'm gonna give it to him. I just want to make sure that I'm giving you BF, bro. I know I know that. I know all that.
Hey, BFTB. You say, hey man, let me do my job, dog. That's what you're trying to tell me. Hey, let me do my fucking job, nigga. Go away. And I'm cool.
You good, though.
All right, I get you. I get you, soldier.
I'm saying, bro. I'm beyond bullshit, bro. I'm beyond the bullshit. Straight up, I'm beyond the bullshit. Because if they really wanted to press passes or whatever the case may be to the people who they should be giving it to, it should be dudes like myself. Because I have no horse in the race. Every question that I ask is going to be a question that people actually want to hear. These are real. I'm not asking no bullshit like, oh, well, you're watching Devin for so long, and I think he's so great. And Devin's been doing great in the gym. How many punches does he punch on the bag? I ain't asking no shit like that. I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm asking the champ, hey champ, yo, what do you feel with Gary right now? How do you feel about Gary? Is you gonna beat Gary's ass? Is it what are you gonna put hands on this man? I'm asking legitimate shit that motherfuckers want to see. After Gary, are you gunning after Lomachenko's scary ass? I'm asking him shit. I'm all that weird ass shit. So they give nothing on my homie Mac, because I'm gonna give it to Mac in a second because he a real one too. But they give these passes to people that are going to ask the questions that they want asked of them. And if they know you're going to ask the questions that that's going to put me in such a good light and not put no pressure on me to give a tough, those are the people that get no pressure. Those are the people that do all that shit. Those are the ones, he's going to ask questions about Trail Bill's robe. Yeah, Trail Bill, that's a great robe you have on. Did that cost $5,000 and then let you run? Man, I don't give a fuck. Bro, I don't care about none of that shit. But see, that's what they're going to ask. That's what those people that get those type of press credentials and shit like that, all that weird ass shit. Give it to a nigga like me, you're gonna get the real questions. You're gonna get the real shit. You're gonna get the question that the actual people want to, because I have no horse in the race. But go ahead, Mac. I know you want to say something, but go ahead.
No, all I was saying was for a promoter to get in touch with the like most of the time, promoters will reach out to the media that they want there, but most of the time, like when it comes to PBC fights, we'll reach out to TGP Promotion, TGT, whatever is. They bullshit. They never. But we reached out. We
Stay Ready. What's his name?
Stay Ready.
I know the promoter. You said what's his name?
TGB. The PBC. They go through TGB.
Tom Brown. Yeah.
Tom Brown. Them motherfuckers. They irritate my soul, but that's a whole nother thing. But we gotta email them weeks. I'm talking. Well, like right now, if I wanted to be on the Charlo and them card and go to that fight, I'm too late right now. I'd had to do that a couple of months ago. And they wouldn't even tell you that you are selected to go except probably a week before the fight.
Some weird ass shit.
But then, you know,
weird as hell.
But then
yeah, that's why I said it. I said I knew that it was a process, you know, and it wasn't. It's a process that's more favorable to the promoter that's hosting the event, and not just you know, everyone can come, every press, every you know, whoever has whatever kind of opinion you have, you're just welcome to come. You know, I just wanted to kind of know what the process was with different promoters, because every promoter can choose the way that he does this process, you know, and that's one of the things about Devin as being a promoter, and that you decide what relationship in the media that you have. Who in the media do you feel like that you want to have the relationship, and you want them at your event to cover your event? I think it's groundbreaking that the youngest promoter in boxing will choose, you know, will choose the LDBC. And like I said, no one has ever told us, oh, you can't do this. You cannot choose the LDBC platform as a platform to introduce and launch creative things that's going on. I mean, so when we talk about, and I'm saying this, we're at the top of this food chain of game. It's just not happening, bro. I mean, that's why you see me everywhere, and you see me saying that I ain't losing no job. My job ain't in jeopardy because I'm rolling with my people. I'm rolling with the mob. You dig? Hey, listen, I don't know. That's why I'm just here to tell y'all. And I can talk to Batman, and we can send money over, and we can do all that. And when we have our show, we can have press. I always talk to Trill, and I'm saying, Trill, you want to be, who wants to be there? And anybody will know that when we fight, I'm always saying, what you want to do? Where y'all at? Come on. You know what I'm saying? I got the red carpet out now for my people in Vegas. I'd like to come and talk, and we sit down and smoke a cigar and kick back, and, you know, or have some cognac or whatever your choice, or maybe even nothing, just have a cup of coffee and kick this this world and this boxing business. You know, but the thing that I wanted to make sure that we know that, you know, I am the LDBC. There's not a positive black organization that I'm never gonna that I'm not part of, man. You see what I'm saying? Y'all on positive, y'all on independence. You know, everything that inspired me coming from Oakland, California, with my mom being a Panther, and then with seeing Too Short sell his music out the trunk of the car independently. So we always had that independent mindset that we're gonna do ours, we're gonna police our community. It's about us. We're gonna stand up, we're gonna do what we want to do. Because
I want to make sure, like, my thing is this though, Trill. Because you have DHP, and I believe you're starting it on the internet, which is the most powerful platform on the planet, and people is dumb as hell for not using it. Dumb as hell for not using the internet for promotions. But I'm gonna ask this question this way. Once it starts taking it off, now I'm not gonna ask the question. I'm just gonna make the statement. Keeping the people in the loop of the questions, you know, you having the fat, sloppy, gelatinous Raphael and all these weird ass motherfuckers asking questions. You having us ask y'all the questions. Because we got the pulse of the people. The questions that we ask are the questions that motherfuckers want to hear. You know what I'm saying? The questions that we say to you, hey, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about this negotiations? What about that? You know, those are the questions from the people. You know what I'm saying? So getting those questions from us is going to be way better than any question about what bologna sandwich these niggas is eating is going to be. I'm telling you that now, bro. So just a word of advice from a nigga that don't got a horse in the race. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Keeping that pulse with the people is going to skyrocket Devin Haney beyond like everybody.
Thank you, brother. Absolutely. I couldn't, you know, reiterate that more. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm out here on a Sunday morning, right? I'm with the people. I'm listening to the people. I want to do what the people are saying. The fight, I just said I don't want, while we're talking about the fight, and Batman to know this, I don't want nobody to get away with that date and that money. I don't want things to change. We start changing around things, and then they say, well, that's not on the schedule, or that's not, you know what I mean? I pinned them down. I did everything that I could do. I'm just waiting on bruh. Bruh told me yesterday that he gonna send over the he's gonna send over a paper. He can just write on it with a pen, just write on what you want me to do. You know, because I'm doing the best I can, but I can't, if you don't write it down, then how can I do it? But we can't we cannot, what we cannot do, what I'm not going to stand for is the part is that anybody else taking credit for making it happen other than Batman, Team Russell, Team Haney, and the LDBC, right? I'm saying no one told us to go do this. This fight is on it's with two different companies, a non-traditional way of doing things. I mean, we stand up. Hello, it's us. We did it. We did it. We just got to just see it through. And then people say, well, y'all don't need to do it that way. What I don't want to do is have a conversation and have the wrong conversation with my brother Batman on the phone, and then shit get all twisted back out. You know, that's the part that I'd be scared of. That's why I talk, you know what I mean, with my brothers. I talk in the community. I don't care, you know what I'm saying, who's listening. I mean, y'all don't see the paperwork. Y'all just see the effort that we're making every day to hammer it out.
So it seems like the only thing left from my understanding, the only thing left is pen to paper from some bigger organizations. That's the only thing I'm seeing.
No, the only thing is left is G signature. That's the only thing left. Everything else is fake.
So all the stuff that we was hearing the other day with like the zone and Matchroom, whatever, signing off, having the name, the blank stuff, like all that stuff is done already?
No, that's done. We already talked and handled that amongst each other. We handled all the business. We just waiting on G to sign and send over, you know what I mean, what he wants to happen.
So what's that's behind that?
That's the closed doors.
Hey Batman, what's the deal with that? That got over the G already?
Yeah, he just got a red, like Bill said, he got a red line with Bill and them supposed to do and send it back over. They sign it, and then they gotta send it back and we sign it.
Oh,
that's it, that's all.
There's a few things on there that is still,
and then the contract come involved.
And then the contract comes.
No, it's just one red line. It's about
we doing everything. Doing everything that we can. And I know this. This is the longest reigning champion in boxing. A boxing family. They do not play. You know what I'm saying? In the ring or outside the ring, right? As Devin Haney Promotions, as the president of his company, right? We are knocking on the door of greatness. And what I wanted to point out, not just greatness in the ring, but actually greatness outside the ring, having his shit together as a 21 that, see, we learned from G, being, you know what I'm saying? Like letting the machine, instead of you owning your shit and letting people do it, you might miss out on the opportunity because G a bad motherfucker. So challenging, you see us challenge Lomachenko.
Yep.
That's Devin Haney Promotions. No, we ain't gonna let no politics or no. The people, and see people, normally when Mike McCallum, who I study, he sit up and talk to me like I go to sleep, Mike will be talking to me. And he has said, they ran from me, Bill, and people don't give him credit for that. I said, well, if they run from Devin, they're gonna know, Mike. He said, I hear you, Bill. I hear you. He said, don't let them run from champ, and they don't know. They running from champ. See, Mike McCallum, Sugar Ray Leonard ran from Mike McCallum.
Marvin Hagler too.
This is a whole lot of game over here on this side, man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Trail. So I mean, I just want to make sure I get this encapsulated for myself, because I'm an analytical thinker. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I tell everybody all the time, bro, you can't say something to me, and me not, the wheels don't spin. It's how it is. So what I heard Trail Bill, the God, say is that your side is done. You know, you're done on this point. You've already sent the terms. You've already sent that over to Mr. Gary Russell. He's waiting to red line something. I'm guessing it's the rematch or whatever. He's waiting to red line that and then send that back over to y'all, and then contracts get pushed. That's what I'm guessing. Now, if that's not the case, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm guessing that's what I'm hearing. So that's what Mr. Trail Bill said. That's the case. Batman, he just waiting for the red line, the rematch joint, and that's it. That's it. Batman.
Well,
He done froze up.
I think he might froze. Can I say this? Can I say this? For the people that want to pick apart what was said here, let me be very clear. Please don't run around and try and make some stink ass videos talking about.
Man, it's a pandemic right now, man. Everybody, property is dropping. Man, like people are getting laid off. We got family members that have passed. I mean, shout out to everybody, man, that's, standing up through all this. It's a tough time right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? We strong people. We don't pay attention to what's necessarily going on because we didn't seen tough times and maybe we've seen tougher times, man. But I mean, salute to everybody that's continuing to just keep moving forward, I mean, because they tell us every day it's something different, not with the Russells, but just that there'd be no fans, that Devin you don't know what arena you're gonna fight out. You can't fight necessarily pick your arena because it ain't gonna be no fans there. Shit, it's just a tough time. So salute to you guys for continuing to stand down with the sport, the Russells, for continuing to pounding out this deal and hammering out this situation. People give G, give him some time, man. You know what I'm saying? Be patient with this situation. Devin is a fighter. You know what I'm saying? He ready to go. With me, I'm doing everything in my power that we haven't signed Gamboa. We haven't signed Gamboa, and that was our business. You know what I'm saying? And our business was at Tank, at Javante Davis once again. You know what I mean? We're reaching out to the respected them fans in the DMV. It's one caller called in. He said it's a Floyd model. Absolutely, you win markets. You win respect in the markets. So you pick them. You know what I mean? Whatever market that might be, you're targeting. We're targeting G. We're targeting G's background. It's nothing with disrespect to Gary Russell, but if Gary Russell had been from Wisconsin talking shit, it wouldn't mean nothing.
I feel you. Definitely. I definitely feel you on that one. There he is, Mr. Batman, back in the building.
Yeah. So none of this is personal. I don't want people to think that. I want people to know that you're looking at LeBron James and the Greek Freak. You know what I mean? You're just looking at a great fighter, and then in Devin, you're looking at something special. Because you can't say he's a great fighter because he hasn't been in those fights, but you can say he's something special. So it's a great fighter versus something that we haven't seen in a long time.
And I'm with it. And Mr. Batman, you said when I asked Trail, everything was good on his side, and the God gave me the thumbs up. Then you said you were just waiting for Mr. Gary to red line one thing. You know what I'm saying? Because Mr. Gary the red line that, and I said, was that red line the one thing? The red line was at the rematch, and then you froze up. Could you speak on that?
Yeah, we just got red line one thing, send it over, and they gonna send it back. We gonna sign it, and the fight gonna be on.
But could you speak on what that one thing in the red line is? I mean, if you can't speak on it, you can't speak on it, because I know that's Mr.
I really can't. I really can't speak on it.
And don't speak on it.
I really can't speak on
it. I definitely understand that. Definitely understand that. That's Mr. Gary Russell. He's always going to speak on that. I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that the way it is. But as long as we know it's just that one thing, it's just that one thing.
It ain't nothing major. That's what I can say. That's all I can say. It's nothing major for real.
I'm gonna run with that. And Trail Bill, the thumbs up on that. Nothing major shit. So we gonna go keep that pushing. I got it. We're gonna keep it pushing. As long as we know this is what it is. So the thing to you, Trail, is the Gamboa fight is a backup. That's not the primary. Gary Russell was the main fight.
Hell no. Gamboa, right? Who's an Olympian, somebody that we watch. I mean, because we watch the business like we watch Gary, we watch Gamboa too. You see what I'm saying? So, and we watch Tank hit him with bricks. You see what I'm saying? He hit him with bricks, and Tank got bricks on both sides. We saw Gamboa tear his Achilles and continue to fight.
Backup though. Like who's the primary though? Who's the primary? Is Gary the primary or is Gamboa the primary? Like who's the primary? Like if you had your
no. Make no mistake about it. We're not doing nothing until Mr. Gary Russell says that he's not fighting Devin Haney.
Okay, so then Gary Russell's the primary then.
Gary Russell is the only thing.
That's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear. So I'm gonna take this a little bit to the left on you, not far, but to the left, because I hear a lot of people on this nonsense, but pound for pound. I'm telling you, Gary Russell should be on it. At this point, Gary Russell should be on. Gary Russell should be on the pound for pound list. He should be on it.
If Devin beat him, what will Devin be?
And that's what I'm getting to. That's what I'm getting to.
Love you, BFTB. That's right. It's going to make Devin the face of boxing because of the way in which he approached. Now, see, when you say the face, it's like you go in the magazine as cutting edge, as new. It's not the old shit. So when you say the face, that don't mean that you got the most money. That means that you're the face of boxing and the trajectory of the way that boxing is now going and being looked at.
I mean, I can see that. I wouldn't give it to him just yet. I can see that though. I can see him pushing that envelope. I can see.
We pushed all the old guys out. We pushed all the old guys out.
Hey, Bill.
BFTB.
Bill.
We pushed all the old guys out. A second, Batman. We pushed all the old guys out.
Good.
We pushed all the old guys out, meaning that it's now the opportunity for the great Stevenson camp with Shakur over there to be a young champion. Teofimo Lopez to come in and do it. Ryan Garcia's pushing. These are all that just got, Devin started that push. And then now you got, it's hell of an amateurs that's coming along. You know what I'm saying? You got Keyshawn Davis. You got Keyshawn Davis over there that I'm sure his family, they're doing a wonderful job. You know what I mean? They're gonna be, these guys is coming and asking for a lot of money now.
Yeah.
The kids and the families.
Yeah.
Families know now.
I will tell you this though. I will tell you this. If Devin beats Mr. Gary Russell, he'll have a better fighter on his resume than the so-called number 1 pound fighter, Terence Crawford. I will tell you that.
Well,
he beats Mr. Gary Russell.
Terence is an OG. He's an OG as well. Just like Gary Russell was an OG. Gamboa is an OG. You know what I mean? These guys, dog, listen. I'm telling you.
OG. He's the OG. He's old. He's past.
Well, that's what I'm saying is. But when the 36-year-old Salido beat the shit out of Lomachenko, and Lomachenko was like 24, 25, or 24. Yep. He was definitely grown as a mother. He was older than Devin.
Facts.
So, and they pumped that fight.
All fact. No. What I'm saying is
why? No. BFTB, because BFTB, because you're an intellect.
You already know that.
Then why would we let new old media get down in a way then when new media has a situation the way things been going, and now we want to point it out? Is it only time that it gets pointed out when it's a black fighter? If this was a white fighter, would it be pointed out that Gamboa is old and not what's name? On the top of that, Gamboa was just in front of Black Hollywood with he was just in front of Black Hollywood with no other than Javante Davis.
So hold on, don't take my word. Yeah, you're moving my words.
Which meant that casuals and all of Black Hollywood knows all them girls that were sitting there that Devin know that he know. All the Instagram models, all of the hip hop guys, all the hip hop guys, they don't know who Lomachenko is, and they don't know who Gary Russell is. They know who Gamboa and Devin Haney is.
You're moving my words. Gamboa versus Devin Haney is a damn good fight.
Thank you, sir.
I don't want nobody to get that fucked up.
Please, thank you. Thank you, sir.
So when you're taking my word, don't take my word as if I'm shitting on Gamboa. No, Gamboa versus Devin Haney is a good fight in Devin Haney's career at this moment.
Yes, sir.
Not as good as
Gary Russell.
Not as even close. No.
Okay.
Gary Russell versus Devin Haney is that fight.
I agree, but
if there is no Gary Russell, then Devin Haney versus Gamboa is the next best. That is the next best thing for him because there's nobody else. So I don't want to get that fucked up. I don't want nobody to get that twisted. I don't want no one to get that twisted.
I appreciate you on this Sunday morning, sir, because it's a lot of work for me to get anybody in the ring, just like with Batman them. They've experienced it's 10 years worth of heartache and pain trying to get somebody in the ring. You understand what I'm saying, sir?
Correct.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So our first thing was, hey, sir, listen, we know you're hunted. We know we're hunted. Hey, just ask Al, do he want to put it on? I'm not gonna disrespect y'all and send over and we go back and forth with this bullshit. Al, and you've been putting on the biggest events. Al would had the Budweiser Superfest when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Al Heyman Productions. I'm not going up against Al Heyman. I don't give a fuck who say something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not going up against Al Heyman. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm going to do the best I can to the good brother reach out to me and say, hey, brother, you have earned your way on board the money train. You know what I'm talking about?
I think the fight with Devin Haney and Gamboa, if this fight with Gary can't be made, is in line actually it's a little bit better than the fights that he I would say it's the fight. It's the fights that he should be taking at this time in his career if he can't get Gary. Devin Haney versus Gary is an accelerated fight for Devin. It's an accelerated fight. You know what I'm saying? In all honesty, bro, Gary Russell versus Devin Haney right now for me is the best fight in the best for me. But if you look at its career, Russell in a few. He's fighting this man before he should, which I fuck with heavy. He's fighting him before he should. Fighting a Gamboa is right in line with where he should be at in his career. If people talk to that, he's a prospect and he's so young in his career and blah blah. Same type of shit they did with Canelo when they said Canelo's green. Same type of weird ass shit. What Devin Haney is doing is sooner than what people did with Canelo. It's sooner. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting the level of competition in the Gary Russell that is sooner. If he fought the level of competition of a Gamboa, it would be in the same sort of aligning of a older fighter type of shit like that. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gary Russell fight is it's important, man. It will catapult, and it's not even saying he'll win. Just fighting alone is gonna catapult him. Fighting that fight alone. Now I've already told you where I stand with that. I ain't got no horse in this race. I'm telling you, I told y'all before I'm picking Devin to beat Gary. I've already said this, so I don't need anybody to be like, "Oh, it's dick riding." Blah. Nah, I've already picked this man. I'm standing on my square. However, just fighting him alone, bro, that's gonna catapult this man. Like keeping it where it's at on the internet with the biggest platform, man. If you deviate off of this, you're doing him damage. What's up, Trill?
I was moving accordingly. Listen, the boxing world is watching. And as a boxing business, who puts their 21-year-old stud and star who's on the horizon with the man? Who puts him in there with Gary Russell?
No one.
I didn't do that shit. I'm not stupid. I didn't do that shit. I'm backing him.
Yeah, that's not a fight you take.
In fact, I never said nothing crazy about the Gary Russell fight. I always bigged him up. I tried to get, we know the business story. We don't need to reiterate the respect that I didn't have for them in terms of if they wanted to do a deal with Eddie and what's the name. But I was like, damn, from doing the business, I said, Dev is talking, but we're not just like coming to pilgrimage the city and just ravage and just tear everything down and leave nobody with work. And I said, Dev, So y'all just started doing this talking, and you want me to offer him? I said, well, man, listen, if we do that and say he's having bad situations or bad blood with the big homie and he can't have no work because he was advised that he shouldn't have went over there and fuck with you, I said, I'm gonna tell G that we're gonna get the zone to give him an option to get some money. I'm attempt to do that because nobody never said they wanted to do options. Right. I said I would attempt to get you some money on the back end, right? But that was an attempt. That was an attempt on my part coming in. Devin don't want none of that shit. He just want to fight.
I mean, I say it was a smart move. It was a smart move. In my opinion, it was a smart move.
Yeah, but it was just a guarantee. It was just a guarantee that he wouldn't have been unemployed. That if because he came over on this side and then he wasn't able to go on the other side because he lost bad or whatever, he would have some guarantees from coming over there that he would have at least a couple paydays, and we would have to agree what the, I mean, like as an option, he can go wherever else he want to go if the money is too short. Just like with us, we have, we can go with the biggest money. Anybody in boxing, I don't know, Batman, can they go if it's some bigger money somewhere else?
No, if they sign to the promoter, their promoter got to agree.
See, that's why we didn't do that shit. That's why it's like you can't go get the big money, man. That shit part is crazy. So that means that the big fights can't really happen.
The promoter got to make if it ain't on the promoter's network, they got to make something off you.
This is why y'all should do this shit yourself.
That's why I said, Devin, shit, we can go wherever we want to go for the big money. If the money is big.
Well, so
that's like they won't let Tank go over to the zone. That's why Floyd won't let Tank go over to the zone.
Well, there's more money.
They're not gonna get no real money off the situation.
Yeah, there's more money where Tank at than to go get that one, because they weren't offering that much for they weren't offering what he getting for that type of form of fight.
No, they was offering. Listen. They offering the fighter as much, but the promoter cannot make no money. Why would I send my fighter over there for that type of money, and I ain't gonna get nothing off the back end? My fighter bigger than your fighter. I want him on mine, so I can make all the money. That's how that shit be working for real.
With our company, just with my mindset of our company, and we got fighters, is if I can't pay you and somebody else can pay you, well, shit, I've been doing a hell of a job. That's called promotion. We've been promoting this shit where we can bring the most money back to our promotional house, back to our company, back to our base, back to our fighters, you know what I mean?
But listen, Bill, you a startup promoting company.
I know.
See, the big fish, they greedy. They want the most. If they can't, why you think they got the purse bid? The purse bid meaning once it's on mine, I get everything. I ain't gotta give y'all shit. You get paid off what we give y'all fighter. That's how that works. Why you think they always somebody's always trying to get the fight on their side?
Yeah.
You guys, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta think about it.
Well, that's if you base your network deal on the fact that you have an exclusive on the fighters, and you don't have that.
Too many fighters not thinking like y'all. They not thinking like y'all. They just looking at the money and signing the contract. A motherfucker ain't got you, Bill. Too many people ain't got you on their side. So I'm not going in there with my father. I'm a young nigga from the streets that ain't never had nothing. I want to get the best money I can. Once them zeros on there, that's interesting to a motherfucker that really ain't got common sense and really trying to chase something that they never had. Just think about it.
Can I say?
Go ahead, Drew.
No, let me say this. I mean, this is just a shot in the dark. I mean, what do you got to lose by saying fuck the networks? I mean, people are like, yo, maybe a few $1 million, but y'all on here, y'all on YouTube, y'all on our platforms. I mean, is it gonna hurt that bad if you do it yourself? Y'all can get your own venue. We're in COVID right now. Y'all don't know if y'all gonna have a crowd or not. You get your own venue, you throw it on a show platform or something. They say Atlanta. Okay, well, that could happen. And they're paying to see the talent.
And Texas are doing
Texas, crowds. They're paying to see the talent. We're not paying to see a banner flying. We're not paying to see a belt. We're not paying to see
I think they had a baseball game that had a crowd too the other day. Cincinnati Reds or something, or one of them
some
Atlanta
bullshit,
Braves. Might have been Atlanta Braves.
We're paying to see you guys. We're paying to see Russell and Haney.
The Braves did have a crowd, and so did the
right. We're paying to see the talent. We don't give a shit. We don't give a shit if the PBC or the Zone. We don't care. We're not paying to see a banner flying. They care.
The thing that we don't care is calling me, and what they want to know is that the people are texting me on my phone to ask Batman is that with the attorneys and stuff just looking at everything, when do they anticipate sending something back?
Hold on.
I can call. I'm gonna call them. I'm gonna call them when I get off this platform, and I'm gonna call you, man.
When my team keep blowing me up, they texting, asking when.
Pause for a second. Okay. Just a couple things. One, man, only thing I don't want to do is let's not try to move the negotiation any further right now. And you guys, if you get off the phone and want to say when you're going to give it to it, let's do there. But anything like that is going to be able to be pushed to a headline.
All right, well, then listen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take your advice, but now I'm going to get off.
Let me finish. Just let me finish, man. I'm not going to be 2 seconds. We'll be back off the stream. I promise.
All
right. So please, no negotiation in that regard.
Okay.
Because I don't want no headlines coming up that we got to fix.
I got you. All right. All right, guys, listen. We'll leave everything where it is, and listen. You guys have a good one because it's Sunday. I ain't even dressed yet, but I'll be inspired.
I got a question.
Okay.
All right. On that last subject, because I was really interested in the last subject, but I definitely wanted to stop that. But on the last question, I got it. Would you consider, like, if you reviewed your agreements and saw what it was, like, how does your contract address exhibitions? Because theoretically, exhibitions, and let me explain.
Oh, I love it. We love it.
The exhibitions that you could do and film and own all the rights for a sparring match between Devin Haney and Gary Russell Jr. that you would sell, that you guys could hire each other for sparring partners on fucking YouTube and fucking see how much you could flip some fucking money just talking shit on the sparring match. There's all kind of ways that you could look at what you guys could do together to make money. So you could do if there was any way to have a sanctioned fight, like a promoter could sanction a fight, who's a promoter, and don't go nowhere. Please don't go nowhere. Let me finish. Like, if you have a promoter that has the ability to put on a show in a state, he can with no fans there. What's the difference between that and a sparring match? Nothing. So how do you get the rights to air a fucking sparring match, and how much money can you make? And will anybody throw a big deal about that? Because you niggas might be able to get your hands on a fucking $500,000 sparring match that doesn't go on your record. It doesn't go on WBC. Doesn't have to be involved. WBA doesn't have to be involved. It doesn't go on your record. It's an unofficial fight. Fighters throughout the history of boxing have fought exhibitions as a way to earn money in between fights when boxing stuff started. And these guys have all these sparring rumors and shit going on about who's tough and all that. If ultimately you can't agree to a fight, or, you niggas could have grudge match sparring matches where you can cut promoters out and make a shitload of more often. But that's my thought for you niggas to think about, and I'm out.
Okay. Speaking on what Fannon just mentioned, it's a fight I
good idea, Fannon.
What's up?
I told you, good idea.
Yeah, it's a fight I just interviewed on my platform because he ain't have a fight. He went and fought. We got this thing we do on Sundays out here to where they put on fighting gear and they fight for, few thousands of dollars. He went in there and won $10,000 real quick on a sparring match, a 3-round sparring match. They do that down.
It would all of that part would be up to Devin. Like I said, sparring. We've had him spar everybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with sparring with. I don't have no problem with bringing an exhibition to the table. I think that's very cutting edge. You know, the exhibitions with the sparring, and they used to do that back in the day. And with the media now, depending on what fighters are on board with it, could it generate, you know, some revenue? For sure. That's a great idea. Would I be on board with presenting it? Yeah, hell yeah, I would be on board with presenting it. How they would look at it, or what the model would, just saying what it would, you know, I don't know. But that's a hell of an idea, bro. For real.
Another thing is it's a promotional company here in Houston. I'm not gonna put them out because I know they don't like, you know, business things that they do out in the public, but they got a deal with Facebook to where their next fight is going to be on pay-per-view through Facebook.
Yeah. No,
that's a local promoter.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with things like Instagram and YouTube as well. They can get those type of dealings in to where if y'all do get this fighting and the networks don't want to pick it up, or y'all do the exhibition, you can get a dollar pay-per-view, because that's what they was doing. Dollar pay-per-view. Roku do it. They do pay-per-views all the time with a lot of platforms. Apple TV do a lot of it too. So if y'all do get something like this exhibition going, that's just something to look at, so you can make that money, because people gonna tune in for some shit like that. Period. Especially we did not like the LDBC done built this fight up to a whole nother level, so it's gonna make money wherever you put it.
Right. We 100% on board, and I said, and those are the things that those discussions we discuss with the people, ways of doing it and actually being able to facilitate it, and you not wasting your time talking to the wrong person and Fannon and as well. You know what I mean? We have the ability to do those things. And if Batman was on here, Batman would attest to it as well. That you know, he's open. It's about getting Devin and Gary on board. See, we all can talk till we blue in the face. If we don't get them two gentlemen to sign, then it ain't falling on nobody no more. It's only on them two, bro. We can't place to blame nowhere, but it's with them. That's it. The LDBC has to, on this Sunday, you know what I mean? If you're cooking something, you know what I mean? Turn the music up, have some fun, because we did our part. We can't do no more. We cannot do any more.
True. I will say that Huey, I believe Huey Fury did a pay-per-view on YouTube. Just throwing that out there. That did happen.
Lions Only did a card on YouTube.
So that is there. That is there. And you have DHP Promotions. So you have options. You know what I'm saying? Like you said. Say again, Trill.
As long as Devin goes with it, because see,
right.
you understand. Listen, B.
Yeah.
When Devin was young, I wasn't fucking young. When Devin was young, and Floyd had that green belt, that WBC green belt, and you know what I'm saying? And then he had a bunch of green belts and shit, right? Devin's whole thing was to get that fucking green belt. I know how you feel about that green belt. The money part of it, you know what I'm saying? You get money. You know, I do the business part on the side with the money, but that green belt and representing that motherfucker, he is gone. You know what I mean? So you challenge it, or you say that he is serious about that. He's looking at the other green belt was Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? That's the 140, Mikey Garcia, all the other shit. And I just, like I said, man, I appreciate you guys a lot, man. I appreciate for how you described Devin's situation with going at greatness and Gary Russell, seeing it, and then understanding that the team did the smart thing by Gamboa is the next opponent, Javante Davis. We weighing every shit out, the landscape of it. but because Gary Russell wasn't in the division, he
Right.
still hadn't dropped his belt and been in 35. So we was looking around 35 and saw, because guys are busy, that the guys are busy that didn't want to fight him though.
I was about to say, don't say they busy. They scared.
Yeah. So we looked around the division, and the only person that raised their hand was Gamboa. Now, if somebody else is raising their hand, shit, we've been all over the you know what I'm saying? If somebody don't feel that they was getting an opportunity like Gary Russell, like Mr. Gary Russell, then raise your hand.
Well,
if you don't think he get an opportunity like Mr. Gamboa, like the Gamboa family, then raise your hand. We got off of Gamboa in negotiations with Gamboa because of what the people were saying, and then Gary Russell was saying he was going to 147 because he wasn't getting no smoke at any division under that. Under the 147. 140, he say he'd go up there. 135, he say he'd go there.
So what happened with Fortuna?
Fortuna been ducking Devin since the WBC tournament when him and Teofimo Lopez was in that tournament. It was in a tournament. Then Javier Fortuna became the mandatory for Devin. Then how do you go from the mandatory to fighting Jorge Linares if you really want to fight?
Yeah.
How do you go from being a mandatory to fighting Jorge Linares? For what? What are y'all fighting for?
True. Well, that's true. That's definitely true. But I mean, I heard Javier Fortuna was saying he wanted that smoke.
No, he did not want that smoke. Every indication that shows that he doesn't want to smoke, because when the fight with this how God watch it, because God does not ugly. All praises due, right? He said he wanted to smoke, right? And he was in a fight with Jorge Linares, and then Jorge Linares tested positive for the corona. Blessings to his family and him, and hope that he have a speedy recovery. Hopefully he's already recovered. But then he remembered that Jorge Linares said, so we said, all right, Javier Fortuna, come on now, let's fight. Ain't no answers. Since his fight fell out with Jorge Linares, only thing we was knocking on his door, we was following, chasing him around, but nobody never knew. You know what I'm saying? Nobody never knew because y'all not paying attention to that. You only paid attention when we started knocking on Gary Russell's door.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm saying it's okay, but that was our whole point. That's our whole point, not for Gary Russell, but for the respect of the DMV.
Yeah, I mean, we started paying attention when you knock on Gary Russell's door. We started paying attention for that because that's a fight that we want. That's why it's a fight we want. It's a big fight. Javier Fortuna is a good fight.
That's how you got to win. That's how you got to win. You got to win. You got to win the markets. You know, if it's the Mexican fan base who really supports their fighter, and they got you got to win their respect. You got to come. They've been following G for a decade. You ain't gonna just talk your way into winning their hearts and winning their affection. You got to go and fight him. You know what I'm saying? All that keep showing shit in the gym and all that other shit, that ain't gonna win. They ain't gonna win it.
Correct.
Fight him.
Correct.
Absolutely. If you want it.
Absolutely correct.
Keep moving. But Dev wants. And I'm saying we're not gonna, it ain't personal towards G. That's what I'm saying, is we're not gonna fake and play with him. We're not personal towards you, mom dude. You know what I mean? We got real solid dudes around there, like Dirt, who's Truck's Lorenzo Simpson's manager. And Truck is on the way. He's moving, and they moving mean, independent, right? They got their situation, but we talk. Devin and Truck is good friends out of Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Then you got John White and Jordan White over there in DC. Another father and son combination that they working and they doing their thing and they independent. You got some brothers around here, I'm telling you, and they calling me and they coming. And I said I'm not gonna be short when I talk about them.
Yeah, but Gary, that dude though. So all them names you mentioned, good names. But Gary, that dude.
What? No, you said Gary is that dude. No, I'm saying is the respect of Kirk Bone out in DC.
No, I'm not taking that.
The respect of all the queens. No, I'm saying the respect to all the queens around DC and then that DMV. Sure. That's what we're doing it for, bro. Sure. We're not making it. I know he that dude. That's why we got to come. We got to come to DC and do that. That's why we got to come to Baltimore, listen, we love Tank, but we also got a lot of respect for Calvin and that Upton gym. To
Yeah,
win that,
yeah,
to win that respect of that, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I hope the people understand to come out here and to beat us and to win our respect and to beat us in front of, you know what I'm saying? We take that as we take that as a challenge.
Yeah.
We hope that we have something that you want to win. And when his brother said, dog, that fight right there, his brother's telling the truth. He said, man, you got to fight him. You got to fight Devin. That's what this shit is all about. That's what his brother said.
Yeah. So when are you looking to put that on? Like, I know it was in November 7th.
Well, November 7th is 8 weeks away. And as being in this business,
yes,
that's what you give a person. You give a fighter 8 weeks.
Yep. But Mr. Gary Russell stay in shape though, so that shouldn't be an issue. But
that should never be an issue. So
what's your ideal date though? If not the 7th, what's your ideal date?
Well, and that I can only control so much when you talk about the and their what programming are they plan on running up against, or what are they comfortable with running up? Production teams, what teams during the holidays will be able to facilitate. Man, the thing about it is when you say this is the first time Devin hasn't fought in a whole year since he got his pass book. We used to fight 4 and 5 times, man. Now go for the 11th month to the 12th to maybe the 12th month to next year. That's fucked up. He like, Pop, you're doing a horrible job.
So November 7th.
No, what I'm saying is he's like, man, what I'm saying is you're doing a horrible job. You listen to people. If you're not getting me paid and keeping me in the ring, Dad, that's a horrible job. And I said, just be patient with me. I'm working on Gary. I'm working. Gary is the only person. I need him to sign what date he wants to fight. So I can then tell the people, because more days is going by, and you need to tell the people so they can. So I email, this is the date, boom, boom, and wait for the email to come back and say, boom, okay, that's the date. Now let me email it back to him to see, does he want that date? And then wait for him to email me back to say, okay, he wants that date. Okay, we're comfortable with that date. Is it still available? Because when they send me the date, I can't lock it in. I got to send it back over to him to wait for him to approve the date. So I said, fuck that. You send me the date you want, because they saying this right now.
Right.
All that back and forth, what's on first, who's on second, you know what I mean? What's coming around third? Come on, man.
Did you figure out a venue yet? I know that's probably like a little.
No, the venue, unless, that's what I'm saying, unless they find a venue and they say people are coming back. It didn't make us a difference what venue it was, because it was going to be in the bubble. So it should be a venue that's safe for everybody. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Safe for the fighters. Safe for the fighters, and that should be our main concern.
Right.
Me and Blue Blood was cooking on my channel the other night when he texted you about the Atlanta. That's one thing that we was talking about, like for a big fight and trying to make it somewhere where the fellas make sure the whole community meet up too. And Black Hollywood sound like that'll be a great place to have this fight.
Yeah, I agree, man. Hey, listen, and the fact that they just came through there and seeing a fight of that magnitude, it's just about getting Mr. Gary Russell in the ring, bro. That's all it is. Devin is ready to go. The terms, we've met all the terms, bro. You know what I'm saying? If there's something else that we can do, we'll do it. You know what I mean? We hear what the people were saying, and that's what I wanted to reiterate. Devin, as being a promoter, he hears y'all loud and clear, brother. He hears y'all. He hear the people, right? He just wants to get in the ring and fight. BFTB. I'm telling you, he wants to fight.
Yeah, I'm with it. So
21. He's 21. He wants to stay busy.
Right, not looking past no one, because you can't look past Mr. Gary Russell.
Hey, real quick, man. We're just real quick. Black, just 1 second. Hey, man, Shulin, because this shit been up here forever. And I'm my bad, man. I'm missing the super chat. Shaula Fatusin said, I don't know what that name is, but it's somebody Asian. I guess you ain't coming for all them boys. Tank, Ryan, Devin, and Ryan. You know, if you still here,
there's another market. Hey, give us a call. Bill Haney 714@gmail.com. That's just hey, see, that was what you just said, Fannon. Hey, how about, since we don't know what the name is, let's do an exhibition. And let's
I don't know what that shit is. And I
Yo,
want
Bill, you can set up an exhibition between me and Super
hey
Cool.
man, listen, man, I love you
Hold on
guys,
one
man. I
second.
love
Hold on
talking
one
to
second,
y'all.
man. Ratchet
Huh?
Sense. Hold on. Just got to get these clicked off. Ratchet Sense 91. Much love in that super chat, man. He didn't even say anything. A lot of people giving good love, man, just not even saying nothing, man. That says a lot about the stream. And thank you so much for what you're doing, BFTB, man. You're doing a great job. Stay ready, boxing, man. Don't ever get no money while you on the chat. I already feel guilty. I ain't paying for you, you know. So don't give me no money. You know what I'm saying?
Hey
Don't.
man, I'm gonna show love to the brothers regardless. It don't matter whether I'm in. I'm gonna show love regardless.
That's what's up. All right, I think I'm caught up on the super chats. Y'all can keep cooking.
Yeah, I'm asking Trail.
Yes, sir.
Again, you cannot look past Gary. So I'm not, but the beauty of it is you're not fighting. So it's not like I'm
Absolutely,
asking,
brother.
no, I'm not asking
Absolutely.
Devin. I'm asking like who I don't give a damn what anybody says. Teofimo didn't want no smoke with Devin. I know this. I saw their interactions. I saw them. But who would you want for Devin after Gary? Just say he beats him, which is not a given. But let's say he does. Who would you, not Devin, your mind, and who would you want next for DHP?
Mikey Garcia.
You want Mikey. Why Mikey?
Because Mikey is the 135-pound Empress champion. That's who we were chasing first.
Right.
Then he went and fought Earl Spence, and then Lomachenko came in and got the vacant belt. So Mikey is really, he hasn't, well, yeah, he did win at 47. So to get him to come from 40, because he beat Jesse Vargas at 47, for him to come back down to 35, he might say he can't do it, but I think he could come down to 140. But by Mikey also being a boss of his company, right, he's able to do one-offs if the shit is right. You know, same thing that Gary, when Gary said that Al Heyman gave him the blessings to do, you know. So at Devin's stage, and I knew it would come a time where we don't need Ryan Garcia. We don't need those, because those guys is just getting started. What we need is the bosses of the business. You know what I mean? Those guys that's real champions, that's in control of their careers, and we put together events. Because like Gary been in the business. Gary saying like, okay, what's going on, Al? Let's you know what I mean? He's not like a young dude. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Garcia, you know, you can talk to them, you know. I don't know who else is next. Who else would be that descriptive, you know, when Gary jumped out. Huh?
Did you get any wording from whether or not the winner of the fight with Tio and Loma is gonna be fighting Dev?
Okay, see, now that's the thing is it once Tio wins, he becomes powerful enough to dictate who he's going to fight next. Devin, as a promoter, he's structured to do what he want to do. These guys can win in the ring and then be able to do what they want to do. I think Teofimo is pushing that. He pushed up on Loma, and if he beats him, if he tells Bob Arum he wants to fight, Bob will give him the fight. Lomachenko was already a boss. He could have fought Devin if he wanted to fight Devin. He doesn't want to fight Devin. So the only way I think or he didn't want to fight Devin then. He might after. He might have a great performance, and he look at Devin and see something in Devin's next performance and see something about his performance, and he say, you know what, I seen what I needed to see.
That's where I was going next. Going next because Gary fought Lomachenko and Gary dropped Lomachenko, and don't nobody give him credit for dropping Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? That fight was decision. It was no Moschenko stop, none of that nonsense. It was a decision win over Gary Russell Jr. You know what I'm saying? So where I was going with that is, if Devin is to beat Gary, you know what I'm saying, and Loma is to beat Tio, how confident are you that you think that fight would happen?
If Loma is
If
the beat,
Loma beat Tio, yes. If Loma beat Tio, which I don't think is happening. Myself, I don't think it's
well
happening.
then he it's two ways to look at it. He could look at it personally as the fighter he is and be like, nah, I got some unfinished business with Devin. Or he can be like, Devin, you missed it. I'm gone. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? He can just ride to the sunset, and it could be the fight that never happened. So
I mean, but what's your take? Which would you prefer though? I mean, how would you prefer that playing out?
shit, we've been sitting there at 135 waiting on him. We listen, Loma is on the duck tree. Gary just made the duck tree. You know what I'm saying? Loma is on the.
Ouch. How you gonna? I still don't put Gary on there.
No, I know. But I mean, if you was trying to get some money with your kids right now during the pandemic and it don't happen, and you're doing everything to happen, then you will say that. I know you.
I can see where you at. And I've gone back and forth.
How you is. You just shit. Just like me. I'm telling you.
I've gone back and forth with this, but I still can't put Gary on there. I know they said the Friday thing, they're gonna have it back by Friday. I understand that. I'm looking to see what's popping with this coming up week. Today's Sunday, then we should have something, especially Mr. Gary is saying there's just a few things you need to look over and some things back. I still can't put him on the duck. I can't put him on there yet.
I don't like when you
go into that energy. I like when you have that fire. When you have that energy right there, I can't.
Nah. I ain't changing for nobody. When I see this man not present something by like this week coming up, I'm talking like Wednesday, especially when you say it ain't that big of a deal. If it ain't that big, if it's not that big of a deal, then it shouldn't be nothing.
If there was one line, how many lawyers need to look at one line, and how long do it take for you to get an ink pen? Come on, keep it big.
But today's Sunday, though.
Huh? They already looked at it and told you what was wrong with it.
Okay, so then they should have it back to you tomorrow, then, right?
That's why I love you. We can talk. Hey,
I'm just saying, if you already looked at it, know what's wrong with it, I should have it back to you.
Monday makes sense to me. It makes sense to me.
So we ain't worried about the zone nonsense. We ain't worried about the match. We ain't worried about that. Them things is on there. All we worried about is whatever line that they say they looking at that they need to fix, whatever that is.
But I'm gonna tell you, whatever line that it was, the shit gonna be back in 24 hours, fucking with us.
Okay, well say that then. I'm with it. I mean, so if you should have this back tomorrow, Tuesday. I mean, really tomorrow. In my opinion, tomorrow.
In your opinion.
I ain't in the negotiations. So you should have it tomorrow. In my opinion, I mean, it's only one line.
And then listen, and then that way the fans can really get behind a fight, man. You know what I'm saying? And not the hypothetical. That's all I want to do. I don't want to be. It's one thing I don't want to do with the fans that are watching is to say, "Oh, this is some bullshit." You know what I'm saying? I ain't. You know what I mean? No. It's going to be one or the other. You're going to ride with one or the other. If in terms of picking, it's not we don't understand or no. This is what's going to happen. Clearly, you're going to agree one way or another. You can't agree with both. You're going to agree with one or the other that it didn't happen. One wants to fight or one doesn't want to fight.
Well, I'm not even going to say they don't want to fight. I'm going to say
one is going to when the smoke is cleared, either they fight or one didn't want to fight.
Now that I'll ride with. With that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say they didn't want to fight because Gary can send Mr. Russell can send something back that y'all don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Then we're gonna be like, oh well, now y'all gotta put something in here, and now hold on. You said 24 hours.
Are you going to hold Mr. Russell to what he said on live that he wanted when he did the
hell yeah?
Okay, what I saw.
I ain't got no horse in this race. Hell yeah, I'm
so he can't send anything else different than what he'd already asked for anyway, because we'd already agreed to. He said, I called you, challenger, Mr. Bill. This is what I want, and this shouldn't be that easy, and no stipulations. I was like, bro, damn, this thing didn't even know the stipulations was just an option for him to get some money that's on the table. And if do you have options now to get any money with Tom Brown or options with anybody to get any money? Because when you have options and you have the shit on paperwork, that's the shit that you go to any finance company, you go to any bank, you go to any place and you say, hey, listen, this is my portfolio. I stand to make X amount of dollars here, 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 and here.
Yeah.
Right? So this is what you tell them. And then they give you whatever you want based on your earning power. But you have to have something on some type of structure. So I said, that's the belief that I'm in. So I'm like, I ain't gonna do the bro like that and then have him where he's just, you know, running around like a chicken with his head off with no kind of structure in the shit. So I said, if I'm gonna present it, because it might be a guy like BFTB that's looking and saying, oh yeah, dude was really
you ain't
good.
getting that from me, homie.
No, he said, dude is a good dude based on the options, not that he's trying to tie the guy up.
Right.
No, that's
Right.
all I was not, you know what I mean? I got options. Well, that's why I have a piece of paper that with the plan on it. You know what I'm saying? That you get X amount of dollars.
Right. So
But
I mean,
if you exceed that, if you go and you say, man, I want to fight Earl Spence. Well, that wasn't even on the fucking paper. This guy here wasn't even on the fucking paper. Russell. The paper what we was talking about was Lomachenko and all these guys. He came up for the 135 smoke. Remember, he wasn't even on there.
Yeah.
When he did his infamous thing. So if Dev can't get a fight and he can't get a fight, shit, this is the fight to be made.
Damn sure is the fight to be made. It damn sure is.
So let's get it, bro. That's all that I want to just come in and just talk to you guys, man.
I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. The brother Batman said there's one line that he got to do. He's gonna send it over to Mr. Gary Russell to do that one line, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is that Mr. Gary Russell got to fix. Send that back on over to y'all.
Yes,
we popping and we can get it.
Fight to heaven.
I'm with it.
I appreciate you, brothers, man. Hey, Drew. Hey, brother, I appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys for even having the energy to even talk about my son. I'm always elated. I'm like, from the very first time when I just even heard somebody even say, I was like, they ain't talking about Dev over there. You know, they talking about Dev. So, brother, you know what I'm saying? Good, bad, and indifferent. You know, we're in this business and we understand that, you know, you're going to have fans that root for you and you're going to have fans that go against you. But, you know, as long as fans know who you are and they respect you and respect your craft, then that's all that we can ask.
Real shit, man.
All right. Thank you, Fannon, as well, for, you know, letting me come on, because, and people need to know is, shit, Fannon could block all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Fannon could do that. We respect and we know what time it is. That's why we are a part of the LDBC, and we're going to continue to push this shit. And also, we got other fighters. We got other shit, you know, we support. We support to the 10th power, all right, my brother? And we're not, and I don't know of any fighter families, promoters, and that are this active and this vocal at 21 saying this shit. Because we saying the shit they scared to say. We doing the shit that they ain't gonna do. And I tell y'all, this phone right here would be ringing if I said something out of pocket. Oh shit, I hope y'all didn't screenshot that.
No, I ain't screenshot it, but I damn sure seen it.
She said, I'm tired of you, BH.
I damn sure seen it.
She said, I need a new nigga. She said, I need a new nigga. You in here on this damn thing, and you keep this the last days, man. Come on, man.
Bill, let me say something.
Take the robe off, huh? And come back. Huh? What?
Let me say something.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. You know I ain't the motherfucker to say this. You know I ain't the one to say this.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
No, I'm saying it. It's my channel.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Come on.
Dog. You made that motherfucker Eddie Hearn look good. And that is hard as fuck to do.
Jesus, it's hard. That shit's hard as fuck.
You made that nigga look halfway decent around niggas that can't stand his ass. And I just want to no, don't say nothing else. We telling niggas to listen.
Yeah.
I'm telling motherfuckers to listen. Don't listen to Bill. You know me now. You're getting to know me. Look, dog, you got a motherfucker here, the zone, that can get these motherfuckers even thinking about fucking with you. Lord, pay that nigga his money.
Facts.
Like I'm saying straight up, this motherfucker put in work. He's highly skilled. And, you know, me and you can add a little bit. You know, we bump heads. But that because, you know, game recognized game, dog. And it's all love. And I wasn't going to say nothing today at all because it was going to end with Bill going to be the play. He's the promoter. I ain't the promoter, dog. I'm just nigga asking questions. That's what it is. This man, that's that man's money. That's that man's company. That's that man's family. That's that man's accomplishments. And I don't confuse those with my own. So it's respect to you, sir.
Devin, yes, sir. We appreciate it. And I appreciate Devin for still trusting in me and not firing me like dads get fired. Letting me stay in the forefront of negotiations and talking and taking a chance with my vision of it being okay. This being okay to come on and talk. Because like I said, is people when they draw the lines and they say how shit's supposed to go, we didn't get that memo. I didn't. I didn't. And I wouldn't be playing with Devin's money. I wouldn't be playing with his shit. I appreciate you guys, man. I love and respect you guys, man. And then I promise I got to get back to the room.
That's what's up. All right. Yeah.
You're putting the doghouse on me.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, that was a good thing, man. So y'all want to wrap? We at 12 o'clock. If motherfuckers want to keep kicking it, y'all more than welcome to keep floating on the platform.
I
As y'all want to do it.
on my shit, man.
No, it's gym time. I got to put in that work.
This is good. The 4-hour stream. All right, man. Recognize the talent, man. Much love to everybody in the chat. Everybody in the super chat, man. Subscribe to my man Drew. Subscribe to my man BFTB. Subscribe to Stay Ready Boxing. Check out the new show coming up. You know, Black Fight Fan Trail Boxing Talk got something coming on tonight. So you all make sure y'all tune into that. And with that, it's one. Peace.